The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher. Wonder when it goes now, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
All right. Welcome, all my peeps. Yes, we are going to have melting pot, right, forwarding later, and we should have the fireman passing through. That is Conrad O'Brien, right? He will tune in. You will be tuning in, right, via telephone call as well, right? So we are going to, be discussing some very serious topics today. But before I do that, I have to greet my wonderful people, right? My people who continue to support this platform, right, and giving us the energy, because they know when they come here, right, they will be getting the facts. Particularly when we hear the Prime Minister, right, is declaring a war on misinformation and disinformation. And I have to say that, of course, I have to, in agreement with that, right, as it relates to misinformation and disinformation, right? I think that when you are going to use social media, mainstream media, electronic media, print media, right, the truth is important. It is imperative that, what you are ventilating, right, is nothing but the truth, right? So help me God. And we try to do our best as it relates to the truth. And we have some topics that, we are going to touch on. We just want to show people that, I am no bearer of bad news. But sad to say, my people, Jamaica is in a crisis, and particularly in terms of the type of leader, right, that, seems to be at the helm while we are going through this crisis. And what is the main issue, right, is a corrupted government, right, who try to, do everything to avoid, right, from put into the judiciary. We are going to highlight some issues, some very serious issues. But before I do that, I have to meet and greet my people as usual. So let me just go through the meeting and greet. I have to, big up to Miss Jan Upton, right? She's the first one here. Bless up yourself, Miss Upton. We have Elaine Turner, right? Blessings. We have Laverne, right? We have Patel Krushank, right? These are my, hardcore people. The left out Mystic Sensation can tell you. That is my creator. I love that, heading there, that naming. God is my creator, right? Of course, and we have Melting Pot in the studio with us. All right. We have Morel King, of course, and yes, Sherry Trick, right? Say good afternoon, Mystic. I say good afternoon to you, Cherry Trick, right? And all right, Lorraine Taylor, bless up yourself, Lorraine Taylor, right? Don't know the thing, God. Jennifer, and, as we go along, we're gonna have people tuning in, right? Now, without any delay, let me just have melting pot, just, meet and greet is wonderful, wonderful brothers and sisters. Melting pot.
Yes, sir, Byron.
Yes,
Greetings
man.
and blessings to everyone tuning in this afternoon to the Mystic Sensation live as usual.
Ah,
Melting pot. They I wouldn't know. You understand? And I mean, why right now, things bad in the country. So, we have
mhm.
come out, say what we have to say in regard to that. Cause it get deplorable right now, my brother. Yeah,
Yes,
man, the things that I would say are going, so we can't tolerate them things there.
I
Yeah?
know. No.
And we have to be here with the shield and the buckler for the people in Jamaica.
Oh, yes.
You understand? Yeah, but no two ways about that. Because,
Yeah.
them can't take on this regime,
Oh, no.
This regime align itself, with corruption. The chassis we build that vehicle here is a corrupted chassis. I move that vehicle here. A corruption where we see a run across the whole of Jamaica. So we have to come and address them things there. But I want to say big up to everybody tuning in this afternoon. We have some regular ardent fans there, through thick and thin. Them
Yes.
staying at the ring with it, Them not leave out of the ring.
I know.
So we have to big them up, yeah? Enough respect, man. Just tuning in. It is a pleasure when time we know say look and we see the numbers up, and we see the
Yes.
interaction and the chat. It make us feel good. It give it the drive and the big and the vibe. Stay the distance. So big up all blood and fire comrade, Big shout out to the 2 Mile people them same way. And basically everybody down in the west, them people were damaged from Hurricane Melissa. We still have to give them greetings and love and blessings same way, and just tell them to hold the faith. Jah not give them more than we can bear. Yeah, man. So pick up to yourself, Sir Lord Byron, as usual.
Blessings.
The
Blessings, my
most,
brother.
the man we have the most. Over to you, the floor.
All right. Thank you for that, melting pot. Right. Now, let me say this before I start, because I know that this live today is going to get extremely hot. Right. Now, for all my lieutenants, right, in the chat who have their blue jackets, right, I'm asking you, please, that from once you have someone who come over here, particularly in the chat room, right, and misbehaving themselves, you don't have to ask me my permission, right? I presume that you people will be doing a good work. Just have that person's totally dismiss, right, from out of, right, the settings. So I'm for all the persons who have their blue jackets, right, Elaine and all those persons, right. We are not saying that, right, they can't come, right. And I'm talking whether whatever P you are, right, you can come, right, providing that you're going to come and you're going to speak truth, right, and you're going to be respectful of every single person. So then I am empowering all my lieutenants with their blue jackets. From once you see such persons misbehave, because I am doing this, right, sometimes I'm not going to see whatever situation being happening there. But I put the trust in you that you will clean up what needs to be cleaned up, right? You hold that authority, right? All my lieutenants with their blue jacket. All right. Having said that, now my Jamaican people, Tuesday when we were here, right? Shaka Fame again. Once again, Shaka Fame. Big up yourself for pass through Mystic Sensation. Really appreciate that. Now, we were having a conversation as it relates to the 150 million US dollars that supposed to be giving to JPS, and we were not sure, right, in terms of whether or not JPS had gotten that 150 million US dollars. Now, based on my investigation, right, I can assure you, right, that JPS had gotten that 150 million US dollars. And let me say this before I touch into that topic, because that topic is going to be very serious. So I can't touch it yet. I have to wait until a lot of people come in, because that topic is very serious that we are going to touch with the JPS. Also, I will tell Jamaica that the 450 million US dollars, right, that Darrell Vaz is saying that the IMF, set that aside to draw down, right, my Jamaican people locally and in the diaspora. That is not true. Let me say this to you. That is not true, right? It is the Jamaican government who wanted to do that, right? I am telling Jamaica, I am telling JPS, and I am telling the government, right, as it relates to the conspiracy between JPS and the government, right, to definitely oppress and suppress our people. We have the information today, and we'll be coming out with that, right? What the Jamaica Labour Party administration is doing, right, is really vicious, cruel, and we are going to show that, right? The 450 million US dollars, right? If that needed by so-called JPS, right? Because what I'm going to open the people eyes with today, they are going to surprise, right? They cannot get that on the open market. And Darrell Vaz is now switching, right, away from the $450 million provided by the IMF, right, and talking now about the open market, is to show you that Darrell Vaz is a conner, Darrell Vaz is a scammer, just like what he did with the bus, just like what he did with many other things, people, right? So tune in, stay with us, lock tight. We'll be going through the turbulence while we are flying. So I'm telling you, it's very, very serious in terms of what we are going to reveal, right, this afternoon, right? Very serious. It's crippling, right, for Jamaica, right? But we are going to deal with that, right? Now, before I go in that, as a result of the nature of the beast that we are dealing with today, right, we have to show the entire world, right, as it relates to the level of corruption that Andrew Holness administration is in and involved, and going down a path, right, to hide, to destroy evidence, to do all sort of things. Even the Integrity Commission investigators are now saying that the Jamaica Labour Party administration is on a pursuit to destroy evidence. Look, it is serious, very serious, as it relates to the amount of wrongdoing, the amount of criminality that Andrew Holness-led administration has done to the Jamaican people, and the effort that they are doing in covering it down, and they are burning all the bridges down that they can burn down, right? I say to you, Andrew Holness, right, and I say to all the Confederates, you understand, there's no one can help you. It is just a matter of time. Read my lips, Andrew Holness. It is a matter of time. Let me now just remind, as it relates to the corruption index and what the world is saying, not what Jamaica is trying to pretty up, right? We are talking about, established authority, you understand, who is telling the Jamaican people that, look, Andrew Holness administration has a serious corruption problem. Let me just go through some of the slides, right? Because when we speak, we don't speak as it relates to rumor, propaganda, misinformation, disinformation. We speak the truth and nothing but the truth, right? Let us get into some of the document as we speak. Now, let us put up, right, the first, so to speak, on the display, right? Let me just get down into some of the issues here. Okay, let us bring up our first document to share that with our people. Right, so Melting Pot, have you seen the document?
No, it not come up on this yet. Just come up.
Okay, yeah. So you see it, right?
Yeah, it's up there now.
Okay, good, good. Right now, here it is, my people. And you see, when we talk about, we don't sow the seed of misinformation, right? We show the source of where it coming from, and we are giving endorsement to the source as well. It is not from us, right? Now, Jamaica position on Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index fell 4 places in 2024 under the Andrew Holness administration. This is very serious again. We have spoken on this, but we're going to quickly go through this again as a result of the level of corruption that we are going to be touched on today. Now let us read, my Jamaican people. Jamaica position on the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, CPI, has dropped 4 places for 2024. The country now ranks 73rd out of 180 countries compared to 69 where they were at, right, in 2023. The CPI was released at 12:01 this morning. Meanwhile, Jamaica 2023 CPI score of 44 out of 100 remain unchanged for 2024. A score of 0 represents highly corrupt, right, while 100 indicates very clean. So anything that below 50 going down is corrupt, and anything above 50 going up to 100 is clean. Now, Jamaica's score of 44 remains the country best ever on the Corruption Perception Index, a feature previously attained in 2017 as a result of Mark Golden, right, had done the Integrity Commission Act. So this is what, as it relates to laws that pass to mitigate corruption, and this is what saved that rating as it relates to that law that was passed, right, to make Jamaica still stand at 44, right? Jamaica, prior to Mark Golden do this, was at 38. And from Mark Golden, right, drafted the Integrity Commission Act, joined 3 agencies together, right, and write the policies, and which passed and shuttled into law by Andrew Holness administration, right? We have seen that it lifted that 6 places up on the corruption index from 38 to 44. So just for better understanding, right, there goes my explanation. A CPI score below 50, as I said earlier, indicates the country has a serious corruption problem. Jamaica has been placed in this category for 23 years. You understand, as it relates to the corruption, right? Whenever the Jamaica Labour Party is in power. And it is always what caused the index to move. If you do the research, it goes to show you that whenever the Jamaica Labour Party administration in power, it interferes with the corruption index. Evidence, solid proof to show you that the Jamaica Labour Party, right, is a kleptocratic government, has no interest in terms of nation building. A poor CPI signals prevalent bribery, lack of punishment of corruption, and public institutions that fail to respond to citizen need. And make it clear that I'm pointing out this, right? Signals prevalent bribery, lack of punishment for corruption, and public institutions that fail to respond, right, to citizen need. Having said that, let us take this away, right? And of course, we are going to juggle down, right, in showing other documents to prove that whenever the Jamaica Labour Party, right, administration in power, two-way, and I'm asking people, right, in terms of when you want to challenge me, you can come, right, you can have an open challenge, right, and we can present the facts to you for you to see for yourself that whenever the Jamaica Labour Party is in power, it interferes with the corruption index, right? This is not something that Mystic Sensation is making up. This is facts, right? Okay, let us move on to other document that I am going to show, right? So let us move this one, right, and clear ourselves of that. Now, remember, one of the reasons why I went back to the corruption index is to show you what been highlighted in 2024, the failure of Andrew Holness administration to discipline persons who have found themselves corrupted, because Andrew Holness simply cannot do it. And the reason why he simply cannot do it, because he himself is involved. He is the leader of corruption. It is just plain, straight, and simple, right? And it is a fact. Now, let us go to this. Now, which is, again, is very serious. Now, look at this now. This is one of the reasons why we are talking about the seriousness with the corruption. This is now December 10, 2025, right? My Jamaican people, trust me, it's extremely serious as it relates to Andrew Holness administration. Never before in the history of our politics, as it relates to Andrew Holness administration, right? There is no other administration. And let me speak another fact. There is no other administration in the entire political history, not only in Jamaica, my people, in the entire Caribbean. There is no other political administration that is half corrupted, right, like the Andrew Holness-led administration. This is unprecedented, right? Not even 80. Not even 80. Andrew Holness is extremely corrupted. Now, Auditor General flagged several breaches at Parliament. So they've gone straight into the Parliament, people, with their corruption. Now, Jamaica, they have gone straight into the Parliament with their corruption. Now, listen to this. Listen to this, people. The country's chief auditor, Pamela Monroe Ellis, has flagged several breaches of government guidelines at the House of Parliament. Mighty goodness of Abraham, mighty God of Abraham. The findings are contained in a special audit conducted by the Auditor General Department, tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. But while several breaches were found, the audit was unable to substantiate the most damning allegation of potential credit card fraud in the legislative arm of the government. Look at that, people. Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis has uncovered extensive governance and compliance breaches at the Parliament. The audit assessed activities across fiscal years 2023 to 2025 based on whistleblower allegations. Now, the report revealed what we call systemic failures in internal controls and repeated violations of the Parliament's motor vehicle policy, the Financial Administration and Audit Act, and Government of Jamaica procurement rules. Mighty goodness. The Auditor General pointed out to years of weak oversight in fleet management, procurement, contract administration, and credit card monitoring. No, but the audit was unable to prove that government-issued credit cards were used for personal transactions. This findings follows a sampling of 65 transactions totaling over $14,000. But the report identifies serious flaws in how the Parliament monitored the account. Bank error in Jamaica 25 resulted in nearly 30 million being transferred to the credit card account instead of 181,000, right, requested. Now, let us just take away that, right, as we are going through the juggling. Now, it's bangarang when we catch to the JPS, bangarang today when we catch to JPS, people. Now, let us get into, right, the other record that we have, and then, of course, we're going to have Melting Pot tune in. Now, let us show you again in terms of why I read the corruption perception index to show you that don't look for Andrew Holness administration. People, listen to me. Let me speak to you. Don't you ever look for Andrew Holness administration to discipline anyone for corruption. He just can't. Because number one, if you and I working together and you are my supervisor, just for argument's sake, and you are stealing and I know that you are stealing, right? And I decided that I'm going to start the stealing too. If you try to correct me, I'm going to tell you that you can't correct me, right? Because you're a thief too. Just lower me, make me do my thieving. That is what is happening in the Andrew Holness administration. But who is feeling it? Taxpayers are feeling it because we are facing the inflation. We are facing, right, the shortages of social programs. We are facing in, you understand, the situation with bad healthcare, right, and no benefits being given to the Jamaican people, right, after we pay all those taxes. They are now funneling it through, right, bad procurement policies, breach of procurement policies, let me say. It is not like a bad procurement policies, breaches of the procurement policies, right, to steal money and put in their pocket. Very sad, very, very sad, right? Let us get into the juggling again. Now, so we have that, and let us, right, deal with some other stuff here. As it relates to, let me just search some of the documents that we put up there. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me just do all of that. So apparently, okay. So we are going to take that down. All right. And get into some more evidence here. Where we have this. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna have to put up back that document, my people, but obviously just bear me some time, people, because the amount of documents here and I have to be sieving through all of this, right? Just give me a minute there. Okay, Auditor General. So we, okay. All right, so melting pot.
Yes, my brother.
Yes, based on the issue we discussed, what say you on the matter we discussed? Let me just put back this document. Let me just put you on the thing until I find right, this document here, right? So yes, what is your take on the matter? Let me just, yeah, go ahead, melting pot.
My take on the matter is that we have a serious problem, but we know it exists long time. But it's even more serious now when we hear say it gone into Parliament, you know.
Yes.
And I mean, you couldn't, in your wildest dream, imagine say corruption would have found its way into Parliament. Yeah, not in terms of what they are saying, but in terms of what they are doing. Yeah, with this high level of corruption that ties itself with 65 transaction credit card totaling 14,000 US. Yeah, and there is also a 30 million bank, you know, corruption transaction deal. So we have problem, serious problem. But as I say, you know, and I know, and I will ask the people, yeah, in life, there are two things that a human being is afraid of in life. Sir Byron, you listen to me?
Yes, man. Okay, yes.
Two things, and I will tell you the two things that people afraid of in a life. Death and prison.
Oh, yes.
Hear that? Death and prison are what people afraid of in our life. Them two things there. No, a man can protect himself, you know, to sustain him life in a way. Not that him can't feel, but he have that in his hand to control him destiny with him life. But you see, when it comes to corruption and theft and all these type of criminality things, if you send people to prison, I know people afraid of that, you know. If the law is there, that is stringent and rigid, yeah, people now going to do the things what them do because them going to be afraid of the law taking its course and them going to prison. But what we are seeing happening in Jamaica is simple. These people know that they're not going to prison.
Yes.
So prison is not at the forefront of their thoughts and how them think when them do things. Because them know them not going to prison. Because the judicial system where we have in Jamaica, it's a failing system that has failed the taxpayers, yeah, and sustain a certain high level of corruption by giving these legislators, yeah, a lot of power to rob the Jamaica taxpayers, protecting them from prison. That's all they want. So Jamaica problem with corruption, you know, it come from the judicial side of things. Because when you look and you see the high level of corruption that is taking place and nobody being charged and sent to prison, them do a little hanky-panky thing with Mama Cow, Dalrymple, and get a slap on the wrist. Dalrymple don't forget no slap on the wrist, Dalrymple forgot prison. Because them know about Dalrymple and our high level of criminality and corruption from long time. Richard Clark is a testimony to that. The Clark family from Montego Bay. And the whole of them didn't know about that case. So she been doing a lot of things and getting away because the judicial system where we have is protecting them. No wonder why you see the Prime Minister give them this high increase in salary. Is the butter that, you understand, for grease them palm. Guys, only we can't filter the money to them. You understand? So what we are seeing, yeah, is a cause for concern. And Jamaican people now have to stand up and fight back against corruption. Yeah, because corruption, you know, it's no wicked like when the slave master was ruling Jamaica, you know. And when we era fight for free, you know. So me want to know why Jamaican people sit down, yeah, and I take the battering and the bruising from the Andrew Holness administration. Because remember, you know, the money have to pay back, you know. Whatever you see these people steal, it has to be paid back. It's not like it can just be taken away and just forget about it, no problem. That's the money that's run the country. That's the money that provides the social services. That's the money that's supposed to build the infrastructure and maintain the infrastructure. That's the money that's supposed to educate the youths them. That's the money that's supposed to take care of the pensioner who has played their part into society by tiling and working throughout their young days, contributing to the building of Jamaica. You understand? So we are looking at a systemic problem. And the fact that it finally went to Parliament is sure that these people don't have a sight in ending this problem. It's a never-ending problem because they normalize corruption in Jamaica. Even journalists, yeah, who have media outlet that is regulated, yeah, by a body, is also participating in corruption. And we don't see the authority, the powers that be, move that piece of shit from off the airway and seize him license. Because I'm thinking of corruption, you know. The money where more the country can almost buy JPS. Big mama money can almost purchase JPS. It no want not much more on top of it. You understand? So we assure you the high level of corruption. The $3 trillion we gone. It could have repaired the country without we have to borrow 6.7 billion US. Because the damage that the World Bank has put in front of the government is something about $3 trillion to repair back the country. You understand? It don't go over 3 trillion, you know. I think it's about 2.3 trillion them say at the extent in damage. So that 3 trillion could have prepared the country and leave change. But where is that 3 trillion? That 3 trillion is nowhere to be found. Over a decade, them take to move that 3 trillion. Nothing been signed. No ministry now provide no farmer accountant's document in regards to spending taxpayers' money. No procurement has done in regards to the appropriation account. You understand? So you see, there's breaching everywhere. That's why I use the term, they normalize the criminal activity in Jamaica. Because you can't tell me, say, you got to work for 11 years and you not do no statutory compilement of your account, you know. No invoice. You can't provide an invoice. You can't provide a purchasing order document. But you spend taxpayers' money. So where you spend it on? If you can identify where you spend it on, and we can't see nothing where it's spent on. We have to say the money was stolen, them thief the money. That is the bottom line. Them thief the money, people. I remember, you know, them can't provide a reconciliation account either. Even when them go back and dig in the last 11 years, when them now submit, them can't come up with nothing to provide a reconciliation account of what took place over that time with taxpayers' money. So them normalize it. I remember, you know, the Prime Minister is in charge of all of these money, you know. Not the Minister of Finance, you know, people. This is the Prime Minister. Him are the watchdog for all of the money, but him are the master to corruption. And then him have a lieutenant guy with them called Pumvaz. With the two of them, you know, them orchestrate the high level corruption where you see damage and mash up Jamaica. Yeah? Just tie the two of them guys the name. And you just see if at them you see pop up as the biggest corrupter of corruption in our country. Those are the two guys. The master and the lieutenant. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, is the master of all corruption.
Oh, yes.
And the lieutenant is Pumvaz.
All right.
You see how much? You see how much?
Pat, take another minute to wrap up because we have several clips we want to go through. You understand? So use another minute to wrap up that.
You see how much hanky-panky deal with Pumvaz name called pan? Yeah. Just look on them. You have the Honeywell. You have the Room Beach Villa. You have the school bus. You have from in the 80s. Now you have JPS. And many more. And even budgeting.
Oh,
with
yeah.
them steal. Him say him could have do investigation overnight. But we know him to be a legislator, not an investigator. So yes, he say him know every nook and cranny corner where the corruption lies in Jamaica, my people. And we have him look at these people and ask ourselves, why do the judicial system protect them? And has been protecting them for over a mighty long time. We have to find a way to break the camel back.
Oh, yes.
Because this camel cannot ride anymore. We don't want such a camel to be transporting Jamaican. Because everybody will be catching the virus of corruption. And I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful melting pot, right? On the chopping, right? Known to be about that. Now, Jamaica, right? We are just going to play the final clip because I was actually searching that, for that clip. Now I found that clip, right? To finish off as it relates to the reference of the corruption index, right? And show you why, right? The corruption index, right, is now beating Andrew Holness administration for some serious corruption. And remember, that is the World Perception Corruption Index. Has nothing to do with Jamaica, right? So if they, right, can say that Jamaica, what they are telling us, they are saying, Jamaicans, your prime minister is extremely corrupted. He's so corrupted that his actions of his administration cause his score, right, to fell 4 places downwards. It's an embarrassment in the Caribbean. No other Caribbean country had fell 4 places downward. So when we are talking about Andrew Owner's corruption, and you want to say that we are showing misinformation and disinformation, right? We are not the World Corruption Index. The World Corruption Index, right? We have nothing to do with it. We are just reading what they are putting out, right? And so then it goes to show you that, look, the PSOJ need to wake up. The umbrella group need to wake up, right? Every concerned citizens really need to put on their alarm bells, right? And read into what the Corruption Perception Index is saying. And it has nothing to do with any Jamaica, right? That control that sort of rating. I am telling you, if that was controlled by Jamaica rating, as it relates to Wayne Henry and all of them people, you would have heard that Andrew Owens is performing excellently well. You would have seen that. You'd have seen that, woo! You understand? Andrew Owens is amazing. This is the systemic corruption that we're talking about when it affects these institutions, right? Because Andrew Owens making sure that he put, you understand, these criminals in place in respective areas. Why am I saying that these people are criminals? If you know that the information that you are giving is false and you are putting out that into the public space, right, to shape a narrative, it's a fundamental wrong. To me, it's criminal in nature. So that is my reference for that. Now, when you have the Integrity Commission recommended charges and the Prime Minister who needs to set example, right, is not setting that example. Because number one, and you see the pattern followed, right, as it relates to his MO. Dalrymple, right, had been found guilty. This is not something that now we are, you know, in the discussion phase. Dalrymple has gone to the court, gone into the judiciary, and that is one of the reasons why, right, we, you know, still believe that you have, you know, persons in the judiciary, you understand, will do their job, right? Now, Dalrymple has found guilty. Dalrymple had found guilty. What the Prime Minister had done. The Prime Minister just wash her off and said, you know what? Go back into Parliament. This is a disrespect, people. A disrespect to us, to all of us. He is telling Dalrymple that she had a right to do what she did. Because they have no effort in stopping people who wait until me touch JPS. Let me play the clip here and then we venture into jail. A bang around this up. Now, let us show you as it relates to why the corruption index is perfectly right in terms of why they graded down Andrew Owens 4 places downward, right? They told him in the grade, they said that your administration doesn't hold people accountable. That's why I played back the corruption index, you understand, to tell you why Andrew Owens fell 4 places downwards. They told him in the corruption index that your administration doesn't discipline people for corruption. They told him plain, clear. So look now, people, and look for the truth as it relates to the evidence that I am going to present. Now look at this now, my Jamaican people. Look at this. So we are not telling lie on the Prime Minister, talking about misinformation and disinformation. Come on. You're sick. You're a sick individual, Andrew Honest. Extremely sick. Now, this is the reason why the corruption index continue to fail you. And the 2025, again, corruption index, when it comes out, right, you are going to feel worse. You are going to slip more places downwards because you have added more corruption to it. When the 2025 corruption index reading come out, right, because we are at the end of December, right, so it is going to come out in 2026, reflecting 2025 corruption. When that comes out, Andrew Honest, you are going to see that you slip from 4 places downwards to even more. We're telling the world that you need to step down. Now, look at this now, Andrew Honest. Integrity rules despite State Minister Xavier Main heads to court to challenge basis for IC's decision to charge him. Now, this is a junior minister. Remember, he's not the only one who does it. You have done it also, Andrew Honest. You have done this also. Let us read into this document. Another government legislator is heading to court. Another government legislator, is headed to court to seek clarity on the Integrity Commission's interpretation of the rules governing its operation. Can you imagine? The very same delay tactics, because he knows that charges are recommended. So then he's now trying to claim that he's utilizing his due process, right? Because he doesn't want to get the charges, right? So now he find another process, did the very same thing, what Andrew Honest had done. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Honest has already taken the IC to court for a judicial review and constitutional challenge over the IC handling of an investigation into his finances, and he lost. He lost the case. He lost the case. Now, Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, Xavier Main, is headed to the Supreme Court for its interpretation of the sections of the SOU bribe. Hold on, is only you understand, right, as it relates to the IC legislation. So you brilliant and bright. If you're brilliant and bright, you understand, you wouldn't have done what you have done. It's to show you that you're all dunce. You understand? You're a sticky finger. You're a sticky finger, right? Which is the subject of the disagreement between the Commission and himself. Now, in a report table in Parliament on Tuesday, the IC said charges should be laid against Main. But in a quick response to the legislator's lawyer argued that the charges were baseless and accused the anti-corruption body of embarking on a fishing expedition. So right here, so what you have done for the lawyers to save you now. You understand? You quickly, you understand, claiming that now you are utilizing due diligence, of the process. You understand? So when you do this now, you understand charges, you understand it put off the charges, it start the charges, right? Because now that they have to wait until the court rule on this. And we should know definitely that the court is going to rule, right? And told you that, of course, you're wrong. So watch this. This is it in terms of the level, the high level of corruption as it relates to Andrew Honest administration. In the report, the Director of Investigation at the IC, Kevin Stevenson, charged that Main, who is also the Member of Parliament for St. and South Western, was lawfully requested to provide further information to the Director of Information and Complaints, right, in respect of the statutory declarations he submitted for years 2018 to 22 and failed to do so because he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it because as it relates to what the investigation, the investigators investigated and found him red-handed, that he lied, right? So then when he submitted the 2018 and 2022, right, for additional documents, when he submitted that, there were additional documents requested. Now, according to Stevenson, Main was aware of the request to provide the requested information and his failure to do so without reasonable cause contravened Section 43, subsection 1 and subsection B of the Integrity Commission Act. Stevens said his investigation started based on a referral by the Director of Investigation, right, and Complaints on April 12, 2024. He said the referral raised concern that Maine could be in breach of the ICA by virtue of his failure to provide information requested from him by the Director of Information and Complaints. The information requested by the Director of Information and Complaints was in the main pursuant to the assets, liabilities, and income declared by Mr. Maine in his statutory declaration for the year, same years what we are talking about, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 22. So obviously you have lied, right? So for people to, to understand it, right, he submitted, right, his statutory declaration, but he lied. He lied he did not declare all that needs to be declared, right? And it is plain as it relates to the breaches of the Integrity Commission Act, right? And that is plain and simple, right? So I don't know why you carry the Integrity Commission to court. Now, people, we are going to step into the background. But I have to build my background before we venture into the background. JPS worse than the boss, by all measures, right? By the amount intended to be stolen, the corruption, the conspiracy between JPS. When you hear Mr. coming out and saying it, the conspiracy between JPS and the government, right? I'm going to show people some solid evidence. Favour Williams, Darrell Valls, Andrew Ones, and JPS, right? In conspiracy to mislead the Jamaican public. From day one, right, on this platform, we were asking what is the value of JPS asset. Because that is important. Because let me tell you something, people, wake up. JPS, as it relates to seeking loan on the open market, right? That is in turmoil. Because JPS asset value, total asset value is low in terms of what they are seeking. I'm going to show Jamaican people that. And that is one of the reasons why we said we need to see, right, the asset value of JPS. So we are going to expose it to them. Now, let us get into this particular document, my people, right? We don't play around here, right? We were discussing if JPS had gotten the $150 million Tuesday for all the persons who were present Tuesday. Would have known that we discussed that, and there was some amount of uncertainty, right, between myself and the panelists, which is Rattigan, Melting Pot, Colin Bell, right, that, okay, whether or not JPS had gotten the $150 million. Well, we know that, as a matter of fact, today they claim that. You understand that $150 million, right? But again, it's a lie. JPS had gotten the $150 million. And in terms of my subjective opinion, that $150 million that they had gotten came from the catastrophe bond. That $150 million, and if it is a lie, come out and tell me it's a lie. That $150 million that's supposed to deal with, right, the reconstruction, right, of the recovery, right, had given to JPS. But the bigger problem, the bigger issue is we're looking at $450 million. And the go now come on, right? Is the government is going to take up $450 million and give to JPS? Eh? That would be a bad move. Mystic Sensation telling you that. I'm going to show it to you, right? It will be a terrible move. JPS. And that's why we ask about the value of the assets, which is very important. Now, let us go into the juggling, my people, right? Let us go into the juggling and show you. Now, okay, let me... First, I want to play this and remind ourselves about this Jamaica. To show you when Mystic Sensation say that Andrew Honest himself is a political scammer. Another scammer for good reasons. Mystic Sensation, right? A lot of people don't like when we come across that way. But, you know, over here, we don't sugarcoat the thing. We speak it as it is, right? The Prime Minister have sticky fingers. The Prime Minister have sticky fingers. The Prime Minister cannot control himself. It is in the Prime Minister DNA, right? And the Prime Minister is out of control because he has no control. He cultured. That's not a sticky fingerness there. And I just know it is years of culture. Sticky finger, tricky, you understand? He is a scammer cut out by design and by DNA. It's in his chromosome. All right. We don't know how to say it again. Me tell you say, right? Okay, so let us share this document. Right? Now, people, you remember this. Remember just remind me and see where we are going now since we have JPS.
I make commitment, and under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants.
Hello, I'm Damian Mitchell. Jamaicans will be paying more for electricity on their October bills. The Office of Utilities Regulations has approved an average 1.4% increase in rates charged by the Jamaica Public Service Company effective September 1.
Jamaica Public Service Company JPS customers should expect a slight increase in their February bills.
The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, this afternoon, scores of residents have been questioning what they contend are high electricity bills, which they've been receiving since their meters were changed by the JPS.
We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies.
My bill for March was 13,000 and much. April bill was 15,000. This month I was taxed for 35,000.
That can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
The light bill is very high, and a whole lot of people have the same problem.
All right. So, Prime Minister, right? Mr. Holness, right? We are showing, right, the consistency, the MO, you understand, of your political scam, right? And, right, where you have gone through Cash Plus, Olin, SSL, and not only that you're a political scam, Mystic Sensation is saying that you scam investors out of their money. That is true. That is not misinformation. That is not disinformation. You've been in Cash Plus. You've seen the damage that happened in Cash Plus. Investors lost their money. You benefited big time. You have up from Olint into Cash Plus, right? Olint lost their money. Investors lost their money in Olint. You benefited big time. Cash Plus lost their money into investors lost their money into Cash Plus. You benefited big time, right? So your Ponzi scheme happened. You've gone into SSL, right? And of course, investors lost their money. You and Darrell Vaz, look, Jamaica, the level of corruption that Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz done, it's not pretty. All the Ponzi scheme that Andrew Holness involved in, Darrell Vaz behind Andrew Holness in them. PP clock. Andrew Holness in Holland, Darrell Vaz in a Holland. Andrew Holness in a Cash Plus, Darrell Vaz in a Cash Plus. Andrew Holness in a SSL, Darrell Vaz in a SSL, and play a bigger role in a SSL. As a matter of fact, he managed multiple JP accounts in a SSL and use money from out of that and send him data to university. Them are people are wicked to Jamaica. Them are people who claim that they are fixed economy. They are the ones who damage our economy and conspiring with JPS. Conspiring with JPS to rip off the Jamaican people. When me talk, me no hold my mouth going and talking. Now, let me show you. After the Prime Minister, at 2015, campaign that, when he was campaigning against Portia Simpson, the amount of lie that he told. Right? Now, watch this, people. Let me get another document here and show you. You understand that he's going to bring in the big energy plants, right, to bring down the cost of energy. And you hear how much people are bald. That after he went in, right, light bill raised, energy bill gone up and all of that. And him, you understand, Mauro Benny, right, and who else involved as it relates to the 80% shares going to Mauro Benny and Japan, right? Eat a decent food, right, for the people them, and him the government who own 19.8%, you understand? That's what they do. Trick the people, show the Jamaican people under the bus, suppress them and oppress them. In the entire Caribbean, we pay the highest electricity bill. Why? Why we? What about we, sir? That you come and you beat me up, you show dirty water upon me, you flatten me out. We can't see no progressive future as a result of you and your administration. Penalize, suppress, oppress, and now on a mission to kill out the youth them innocently, saying you're pursuing to have the lowest crime rate. Wait until me touch that. Wait until me touch that today. No, let me deal with you now with JPS to show you how wicked you are. Now let me get into it because I'm in the long talking. You understand? Now work fast and work hard. Now, when I look upon these people, remember big it up for the seat. This is 2017 after I'm winning. He win 2016 and him couldn't wait. After I promised the people, you understand? So electricity bill is going to cheap. I'm going to big it up for me going to see it. And see who signed off on it there? Adli Shah. See him signature, yeah? See that March 9, 2017, Adli Shah. Look on the wickedness what the man do. After the man run the campaign, 2015, politically scam the people and tell the people them say he's going to bring in big energy costs. After the man win, him and JPS go lock up in an office. And him and JPS authority decided to do this a piece of shit here. Want to look on this now. See it here? A summary of the measures together with expected revenue impact is provided in the table below. Right? Now, watch this now. Special consumption tax increase excise on pure alcohol from 1,120 per litre to 1,230 per litre. All who say, you understand, Andrew Holness, no raise tax. When you come look at this, give the government $403 million extra in the government revenues. Now, increase excise in tobacco products from $14 per stick to what? $17 per stick. How much did it give the government? $826 million. You understand? On the back of those people. Now let us go into increase in specific, right, special consumption tax on fuel. Now, general consumption tax. Apply GCT at 16.5% to group health insurance. Now, watch this now. See the wickedness of what them do, people? Reduce the threshold from the application of the GCT on the consumption of residential electricity. You know, the same people that would have ball, you know. The same people who say they go and they go bring down the big energy sector and the people that been carrying on the bill, you know. You know why though? So I know people. Electricity from 350 kilowatt per month to 150 kilowatt per hour. Let me tell you what this means. Because we need to explain it. Because by just reading that, I need to explain it. The 350 kilowatt per month usage of electricity, right? Now, simply means that this was a protective net that the People's National Party government had provided for those persons who are consuming electricity. So if you have not consumed electricity, right, as it relates to kilowatt per hour over 350 kilowatt per hour, you will not be billed. Someone want to understand that. But what he had done, remember, said 2015 in promise, you know, what he had done, he had bring it down to 150 kilowatt per month. What does that mean? Simple means he broadened the tax net. He broadened the tax net, so you don't have to the tax will chip in, right? As it relates to as you reach 150. So you don't have to reach 350 before you understand tax chip in. As you use 150, that tax chip in at that Andrew Owners administration do to Jamaican people, you know. People, when you hear me I say, at that Andrew Owners administration do to the Jamaican people, you know. No one said the people them are so fine. No one said the people them. And he went into whatever constituency and when him shout out, you understand? The people them, because them so tough, because them don't understand, them say yes. And Massa, when him went in, him lock out the people them. Him and JPS make the deal, you know. Him and JPS authority make the deal, yeah. Because of course he's going to be benefited from it. As it relates to the government 19.5%, he ain't going to benefit. So this is the wickedness. And now we are going to talk about the situation as it relates to the $150 million. Let me take with this. Let me stop from share this and take with this. Now, people, let me talk. Because you know, so we not play around and say, you know. Over here, man, we not play around and say, you know. We are different with people, you know. Right? When we say we are different with people, what we are doing? Yeah, we are different with people. Now, watch your people now. The situation as it relates to, okay, $150 million, right? That we are going to, that they had loaned JPS because they loaned them. They gave them it. They won't let trash. I'm going to show you the document where they now coming out and admitted that JPS, yeah, had gotten it. Now watch this. The 150 million, right? Whether to the fact that they had given them it, what I am looking on as it relates to what they claim that JPS said, that they need 450 million for full recovery. Remember, I run out, you know, and I said, then if JPS had gotten $150 million and they have already restored 84% of the damage, then why them need $300 million? They've gotten you 150, right? And yes, that helping them, right, to, you know, do some re-energizing of it relates to electricity, restoration of electricity, right? But if you can use, right, 150 million to restore 84%, well, you need 300 million to restore 16%. That don't make no sense. But why we not dig into it? And I ask myself the question, but hold on there. In all of this, and we are discussing this, what is JPS value? People want to come here. Come here, people. What is JPS value? Come here, people. Come here. And I'm here, listen now. Unless I lie, them I tell you. Want to come here, people. Come here. Want to come look here. Come look at what JPS value, people. Want to come look at people. Want to come look here. Maybe big up this now because I want to see it in the people. I want to see it. Big it up for the seat. The worth of Jamaica Public Service isn't a single public number, but is reflected in its financial performance and ownership structure. Now, we can go in ahead. In 2002, they had over 1.16 billion in revenues. Now, 54 million in profit and significant assets, while its ownership is split between major international power companies, Marabuni, KEPCO, and the Jamaican government. JPS value is tied to its substantial assets, increasing revenues despite challenges like fuel costs and theft, and its crucial role as Jamaica's sole electricity provider, though its operational efficiency and investment in grid modernization are key factors. So they might tell us, right, them grid need to be modernized. You know? They are telling you that the grid need to be modernized. So this is the financial snapshot. The financial snapshot between 22 and 2023 report. Revenues over 1.16 billion in 2022 with electricity sale driven growth, right? Profits 54 million net profit in 2022. But you have to look at this when it says JPS values is tied to its substantial assets. So put that away. We can put that away. So we try to be very careful in saying to Jamaican people, okay, for give and take, let us not overly critical of JPS. And so then based on what we look upon, let us bring JPS to its overall assets of 2 billion Jamaican dollars. Come look at now, people. 2 billion Jamaican dollars. So then, remember saying that them value less. So then, why are we taking up 150 million US dollars, right, to give to JPS, which is about 24 billion Jamaican dollars? And if JPS get the 450 million, right, then you're talking about we are giving JPS over 70 billion Jamaican dollar, and JPS now what $2 billion. And that is the reason why we are not seeing it. JPS don't worth shit. And anybody who have the concept that JPS, you understand, worth over $2 billion, tell them to come out and show it. Tell them to come out and show it. So Darren Vaza and Andrew Honest, you don't want to make a big drawdown again? And the back of the poor people, how are they going to pay about that? Eh? So no beat the Jamaican people go, no beat them come, no stress them out. So then, all right. Why is it then? As it relates to what is very easy that can be done. Let me give you an idea. So JPS in a dilemma as it relates to the 6 parishes that damage. Right? I'm gonna like, you know, if Colin, well, I mean, me and you and Ralston, I'm on reason out this. You understand? So again, we don't know what Ralston perception is as it relates to this. Me and you and him reason out this. It is prudent for the government to say, all right, look, all the areas that affected, this is an opportunity for all of that area to come off the grid, go renewable energy, right? And make sure all of them people there, right, using solar energy, right, which is going to be much far away cheaper than you take up 150 million, right, and give to JPS. Remember now, it is not all of the grid damage, you know. The area that is damaged is only 6 parishes. All you need to do, being prudent, cut them off of the grid. Cut them off of the grid. And if you are going to help, you understand, as it relates to taxpayers' money and a phone of money, you know. But no, you don't want to rob it. You and JPS want to rob it. You understand? It seems like we're going to buy out JPS. And then JPS quiet. I could buy one out, you know, just keep quiet. I could do this. Yeah, man, I'm me vase, you know, me run things as a man. You understand? So then, the confusion, the lie, you understand? We have to look through the walls of confusion. Because if JPS value less than $2 billion, this is now the art of the argument. The art of the argument. That's why it is important to understand what is the value of JPS. You realize that they are shoving away that argument. They are pushing away that argument because now, if you have a valuator, value JPS fall under $2 billion, which our JPS is going to get $450 upon the open market. You think the bank no idiot? Do you believe that the banks are going to take up over $78 billion, show them upon JPS for something worth value $2 billion? Talk to me. Talk to me. Let me show you the evidence that them get the 150 million. Me not talk. Hey, look here. Yeah, that's why you find they want to lock you out. You understand? Misinformation and disinformation and variable. You can't suppress we around us. You tell the truth. The evidence we are flying around us. Don't play with me around here. All right. Now, let me go into more juggling and get the evidence as it relates to what came out yesterday. But they are phone man. We are here. All right. Up and ready, people. See it here. December the 17th. Today our melting pot. Today the 18th, right?
Yes. Today the 18th.
So this is yesterday. People don't watch this. Post-Melissa electricity grid restoration at 84%. You run come out and I tell lie again. You run come out and I tell lie again. Now, let me ask you a question, because definitely it is just common sense is going to say to us that the 84% of which you are speaking now is the affected zone of Melissa, right? Pathway simply means that this 84% confined to, right, Melissa's pathway have nothing to do, you understand, with areas in Kingston and other places that are not affected. So what we are saying, based on what you are saying here, Darrell Vaz, that 84% of restoration within the affected area, that is the narrative that you are selling. All right, we can observe it as how you sell it. Now, the Jamaican Public Service has restored service to 84% of its customers 7 weeks after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, and with the government sign off on a $150 million loan to the utility company that is intended to accelerate restoration of the island main electricity grid. Let me read back that over. The Jamaican Public Service has restored service to 84% of its customer 7 weeks after the passenger of Hurricane Melissa, and with the government sign off. Melting Pot, what the government do?
Government sign off.
What does that mean, Melting Pot?
That means, you know, so them deal with the money. They
Okay.
release the funds. Sign over it.
Amen, somebody.
Yeah, man. And that Pumba saying, in a parliament, man.
Okay, all right. Let us take that. And this document was what?
That document on the 17th, December the 17th, Wednesday, today, Thursday, the 18th, today.
Okay. All right. Make we address them now. So, you know, if and but. Money run on JPS. The money run on JPS. $150 million. And that would be roughly about 20 odd billion Jamaican dollars. Now you tell me, Jamaica, JPS value, based on what we are looking at, is roughly $2 billion. How could it be feasible? How could it be financially feasible? And when Andrew Honest that we have to spend prudent. Let me ask you a question, Andrew Honest. Is this prudent spending? Come talk to Jamaican people. Talk to Jamaican people as it relates to the value of the assets. We don't want to hear nothing else around any form of any discussion and no tricks and no rare blah blah, the put back rare and discussion. You understand? What people need to know now is the value of the Jamaica public service assets. We don't in the long talking. We are talking about transparency. This is going to affect all of us, including myself. Right? Including myself. Because I have my Airbnb there. So then, we have to have an understanding as it relates to what is the value of JPS that you are giving JPS. And if you talk about $450 million, you talk about 70 billion. Now, when you look at this now situation now, Melting Pot, let me make you come in here so now, man. What do you think about this level of atrocity that you see, right, is happening to the Jamaica people under Andrew Honest administration?
That is a brutal level of atrocity, you know. And it's them all the way from him come and trick them. Yeah, about bringing the big power electricity company come at Jamaica. Yeah, him never do not like that. Him never embark upon not like that, my people. Yeah, because Andrew is a guy who just like around and just spew some garbage and some shit out time out. And because I know the people them now, you know, dissect where I say. And some of them not understand fully where I say. Them just ring bell and make noise. So them get over these type of performance. Because let me just, you know, go back to even the 350 kilowatt where the People's National Party put in place. Yeah, for the consumer at the lower end of the customer base. Yeah. Them start grip down that, you know, the first draw down on that at 200, them take off one time, you know. Bring it down to 150 kilowatt. Yeah. Because that 350 was a safety net. You have to go over that before you start to pay. Yeah. The tax on your electricity. You understand, it's a safety net where your tax start to take effect from. So them take off 200 off of that, bring it down to 150, then them go back again and visit it and take another 100 off of it, bring it down to 50, and lo and behold, if that wasn't enough, them go back and clean off the 50. So it's a complete wipeout of the safety net with the People's National Party led by Portia Simpson at the time put in place to protect the consumer at the lower end of JPS customer base. So Anjo now want bring down electricity for the Jamaica customer, the consumer we are talking about. What Anjo want to do is rape from the consumer because them are run JPS. And the government are run JPS, and that my IRC, based on the activity surrounding the whole financial restructure of JPS. I don't hear the people with the 80% come out. I don't hear from JPS management team as to what extent damage was done to their power supply company. I hear from a criminal named Pumvaz. A guy that you must not make come near your phone could be my teeth, everything out of it. And let your phone could be empty. Who is Minister Vaz to speak on behalf of JPS, which we know is owned 80% by Japanese and South Korea investors. The Jamaica government have 19.9%. Yeah? And there's a 1% minority shareholder out here. So I don't expect the government supposed to fund the whole restoration program of JPS on its own. I don't expect that because you only have 19.9%. Where is the people with the 80%? We don't hear from them all now. It's the government we are here from. So it assures the government have vested interest in what goes on at JPS. Because they make money, you know. Crazy money. This is why they pass on borrow light and to paying customer. That them are doing, you know. Because that Andrew call it borrow light. Andrew no wants to the light with the people them thief, you know. Andrew say the people them borrow the light. Yeah. Well, them pass that on and you can't continue borrow who want borrow. Well, I know if them did serious about that, they would have changed that problem. They would have put in the measures to stop that from happening. It happening in other country. Where you go places, you know, it's no light wire. You understand? So you don't do that. And when you have a company with a majority shareholder 80%, yeah, what is the requirement by the government of Jamaica in regards to these shareholders? What type of investment they must do to the company to keep the company in a modern condition? The government don't put nothing upon these investors. Them don't put them to task with certain mandate as it relates to modernizing JPS going forward. This is why JPS don't value nothing. JPS coming like an old car from 2005. It no carry no value. Cause 20 years and it do him not maintain. Be old parts upon it, it cannot value. We are just use the narrative to show people why we say it not no value. This is why the investors them couldn't go get the money. Cause no creditor now go lend them the money, you know. The size of money where them want. Nobody now lend them because the plant don't value nothing. The plant is a thing we're supposed to go scrap heap. And this was the right time for that. Go to scrap heap and start to phase it out. Down at ground zero, you start to put in renewable energy supply right there and then. Because I hear Janko Jacket come out and talk about carbon emission. And this is why we're getting these type of hurricane with these high volume of rain. Yeah, and it's because of carbon emission. Well, here is your time, yeah, your government, to change that, to start to phase out that carbon emission. Because most of it come from JPS by burning this heavy oil. You understand? So, it's an anti-punky government we have, you know, we are trick the people, you know, with all different various actors on stage, you know, tell lie, you know. You understand? Because then, Drunko Jacket now, supposed to go in a consultation now with the Prime Minister and pump bars and say, well, look, here what now? I just to tell the people, you know, say why we are get this type of severe rain and weather pattern is because of carbon emission. So we now have to reduce that. But this is one way how to reduce it. By bringing solar panel or renewable energy. Them don't want to do that. The system where them have in place now Jamaica afford the government and whoever them bring in as investors to milk the consumer. Milk the consumer like a cow. Them use the consumer in Jamaica like a cash cow. Them not stop milk them. So do they really want to change? No. They want the whole tried and proven system where them have a rob the consumer to remain. Because, I mean, it's like the consumer is a cash cow. And when you look on Jamaica society, what there is to milk? Absolutely nothing. Because the people them not get a good salary. Apart of, unless you're a government or judge. You not get good salary, you know. And two people get proper salary in Jamaica, my Jamaican people. The government, them and the judge. And that's what the money there because the government are the corrupter. And the judge, them are the actor to protect the corrupter. So we, the little people, left behind to fill the breach and plug the gap. Because when you have a service economy, yeah, that cannot attract manufacturer, it's simply because of your high cost of energy. And does the government want to change that? No. They can rely on the service economy. So them put police on the road, them raid the road with the motorists, them take off all various type of taxes, including all car seat where them did want to bring in. Well, we have to stop that. But you know, them have all green plate now. You have car yam, you have in a local private vehicle. And you have green plate for carry 10 pounds a yam. Green plate, you know, my people. Man with him toolbox too. Yeah? So this government is garbage. Yeah? And them not supposed to come tell we nothing about the government and funding JPS. I know the $6.7 billion where the government get is a hurricane relief money package, yeah, for restore and build back Jamaica. Yes? No institution will lend money to a private company like JPS, because remember, I know, forget about the word Jamaica Public Service. 80% belongs to Japan and South Korea. So there's no way it can be Jamaica. You understand? But the Prime Minister will see now, I take the hurricane relief program money, and I turn it in a business loan venture where JPS I get X amount out of it. We see him go and break ground a Vernon Field to construct airplane. I mean airport. Then him a talk about work back sugar factory in a Lionel town. Why you did close money must not the first place. So it look like it's a business loan the Prime Minister go on or get in regard to the 6.7 billion US. It not look like it's a rebuilding loan. Because taxpayers respond to that $6.7 billion. So all taxpayers' money are go to JPS that is owned privately 80% by foreign investor. Oh, and prior to Melissa, did anybody hear the government talk about new airport in a Clarendon and walk back sugar factory? No. So you come back after you get the $6.7 billion and them we are hear from you. What you do? Where you take the people for? You look like you take the people for some farmer animal. You understand? Because under no circumstance we're not supposed to hear nothing about them new development here. The money is supposed to come and you start fix back the people them home. The school them are damaged, you fix them back. And then they are the infrastructure where belongs to the taxpayers. Yeah? Anything where belongs to taxpayers, not JPS. Don't come tell about no airport in a Vernon Field, in Clarendon. Now opening back the sugar factory down there. We don't want to hear that. We want to see the road them fix back. We want to see the infrastructure will get damaged, replaced. Yeah? People get good houses and not container houses. Yeah? So there's hanky-panky thing. And anyway, you see Darrell Pumvaz itch up, be a corruption there so. Be a corruption the right there so. I remember, I know. The master of the corruption is Andrew Wallace. And the lieutenant is Pumvaz. And the two of them, we hear. Yeah? And the two of them voice we hear the loudest in regards to JPS. I know I don't hear from one of the shareholder or the management team. I know. But them control 80%. The last 3 years, them make 172 million US dollar profit. Profit, you know, people. We go to the shareholder, them, you know. Profit. So, Andrew not tell Jamaican how much him get the fee 19.9% out of the profit. And what it do? Because it can't be your one, you know, Andrew. It can't be Pumvaz one, you know. It's the Jamaican taxpayers' money that, you never disclose how much is your 19.9% worth in regards to the 172 million profit what JPS make for the past 3 years. Come now talk to we now. Talk to we now. We need answers. And the Jamaican taxpayers 19% own JPS, not your own or Pumvaz, not the Labour Party. It belongs to the Jamaican taxpayers. So you need to tell me how much you get for your 19.9% out of the 172 million US for the past 3 years. And stop come tell me garbage and shit and I use a little nasty criminal like Pumvaz. I come talk to people. When proper question been asked to Pumvaz I talk about lie, bad mind and all type of narrative in a parliament, you piece of shit to know. Eh? Why the truth you don't want to reveal it? Who own JPS? And that you need to tell me. Because right now, based on the value of JPS, it not worth nothing, people. It's like an old donkey cart. It not modernized, nobody no want it. So you couldn't carry it, go get the money for borrow off it. No financial institution will lend you the money. Yeah, and using that as a collateral. That is a piece of shit light and power company. So, you take up this whole heap of million US. Yeah, value several billions Jamaican dollars. And you put it against something with just value 2 billion. So who won it? It can't be the people with the 80%, you know. Because them not put nothing on the table. But we could move further on and check something now. Because Pumvaz come out and tell some lie, you know, in regards to the number where I'm quote. 84% restoration. Yeah, in terms of light in a Jamaica since Hurricane Melissa. Bombard need to categorically state, yeah, if it's 84% restoration within the affected area, because not the entire Jamaica was damaged. So you have to come categorically clear up that. Because we not get where I say, you know. Because if you repair to the tune of 84% with 150 million, then why you need a further 300 million to restore 16% will leave? Talk to in a Pumbas. Talk to in a criminal prime minister.
Exactly, Pat.
How do we talk to, you know? We need to know the true legality surrounding what Pumbas are saying. Is it 84% of the affected area, or the whole 84% is spread across Jamaica? Me not understand you, because you can't say Kingston did down and them place down Portmore, you know. Might look a slight little damages, but not to no extent. So come talk to it. Yeah? But this government is a corrupted government. I want to touch something on the boy at Xavier Main. I don't know if I have the time allotted to me. So you can't tell me, Sir Byron.
Touch him.
All right. This guy Xavier Main now, we see him run out and, you know, I do the same thing like what the Prime Minister do with the Integrity Commission. Yeah? I take them to court. Yeah? Him have a criminal adversary we empower with when he Nigel Jones. And him file the application, yeah, on behalf of Xavier Main. You understand? Because them a partner in crime, you know. But who is this guy, Xavier Main? Well, we know him to be, so most people will know him from the political spectrum. But if you go further into him, you know, CV, you see, so this guy is a lawyer that specializes in commercial and mitigation law. So anything to do with property and all them thing there, yeah, you can seek him advice. No, this guy is a criminal, you know. You remember when we talk about him profession other than a politician? Yeah, him specialize in commercial and mitigation law. Okay, my people? Now here is this guy, you know. We're going to show you where him start him corruption with plain and obvious way. That a open and cut and dry case. You know, so this guy collect 21 million in consultants fee from Factories Corporation. The same consortium where you see put up the plaza out of St. Thomas. No, that is a breach. That is a breach. And him should be prison for that. You as a parliamentarian, you have a code of conduct that you're supposed to adhere to. And as a parliamentarian, you cannot participate in this type of activity where you are offering consultants to Factories Corporation and collecting 21 million. So an Integrity Commission have that as a case. Okay? All right. Him sell off a property between 8 and 10 Holborn Road, 120 million. Now where this guy get them the breed of money from? Where him get them the breed of money from? And there are several more properties, truth be told. This guy a corruption a run neck and neck with Andrew Holness. Neck and neck, my Jamaican people. So when you have them little shit boy, yeah, we rise up in our place. We don't say as a Jamaican enough to achieve, you know. But you must achieve through creditable means. Work hard, save hard, invest hard. Not an illegal business. I remember, you know, if you're a politician, you can have the business. If you're going to politics with business, you have to put in a blind trust and serve. Because we're not supposed to entangle anything like conflict of interest. Where you as a politician, you have to award yourself or your business certain contract or certain deal. So the whole thing about them guy, is high-level corruption. But they can only play the game because the master of corruption teach them the game. Right. Andrew Holness teach them the game. And him protect them from him team. And we have said this thing must stop. It has to. But who is charged with the responsibility of stopping these people? The judicial system, my people. But when the judicial system is sleeping in bed with the Prime Minister, we have problem in the house. We have serious problem in Jamaica. Serious problem. Because it is plain and obvious that the Prime Minister is sleeping with the judicial system in Jamaica. Yeah? This is why you see the two entities was richly rewarded for their corruption. Government side, as it relates to member of parliament. And I mean, it will, you know, incorporate the opposition. But opposition people, this not fall upon the shoulder. And it not upon the head either. Because you never award yourself. Yeah, you have to just fall in line. Yeah? So, my outburst is not aimed at anyone from over the opposition aisle. It is the incompetent and the immoral respect of the Andrew Holness-led administration who my voice is centered around in regard to the high increase given to politicians in a failing economy, an economy that fell flat on its face, an economy that was just coming out of the pandemic, an economy that everyone knows relies on handout from the diaspora. Many Jamaican people go to bed with food in their belly because them get money from the diaspora, not from what the government provide for them. Because there is no job for the 2.8 million people in Jamaica. Well, if you put the working population, yeah, you know it's about just under 1 million. Yeah, no job for them. You understand? So it's not what the government is doing for the people, it's what the government is doing for itself. That is the picture I'm seeing in front of me. Yeah? So when him do that now, him make sure them rub the butter upon the judicial people, man, and them mouth, everybody grease up. All of them and their mouth grease up with butter. And then the little less unfortunate people them from the underprivileged part of Jamaica take this burden like them a donkey and I carry the load where Andrew Holness and them corrupted administration left them to carry. So we have big problem in Jamaica. This is why when you see them come out and attack, nothing can add up. Tom said this, Dick said that, Harry said something else, and I said just a go like wild flame. You understand? Like wild flame, out of control. You can't get no proper angling on what is what. Everything is all over. It's a shamble. And it's one thing can curtail this high-level activity of corruption is a rebellion. Jamaica people have to take it to them now. These garbage, we must remove them. We must remove them. They have gone into parliament and desecrate the parliament with corruption, people. Credit card corruption scandal. Never in the history of Jamaica we heard of such activity. Our House of Representatives was a house that was pride. You as a Jamaican wanted to be a politician. That House of Representatives was something that would give you the incentive to work and study hard to become a politician, to get the privilege to go into that house. That house coming like a broke down stall. It's like a broke down stall where you have on the roadside and a house anymore. Andrew and him garbage and him nastiness them going there and desecrate the House of Parliament. And Jamaica, if that's not a problem, I don't know what's the problem. I yield back the floor to my brother Byron.
All right, blessing upon that melting pot, because you know we are going to juggle hard now. People, where we are going to go now, we are going to go into the heart of corruption. which is going to evidently prove that, I mean, trust me, the corruption turn up. But while Andrew Wallace is doing PR, he doesn't realize, right, of course, we critical thinkers, right, what we are looking at. Right now, look at these people. Let me bring you into a new thing here, right? And where, of course, the question that I'm going to ask, because I have not seen anyone asking that question. I have not seen anyone dealing with this particular matter. So I'm going to make sure today we drive this particular matter. Where am I going? Look where I am going, people. Now let us deal with this. Look where am I going, people? Right? And this is why Andrew Owners need to be careful with him PR. Now, let us share this. Let us share this.
Stands the Pinnacle, located in Reading, Montego Bay. Valued at approximately $450 million US, the Pinnacle will become the tallest building in the Caribbean upon completion. The project consists of 4 28-floor towers, 15 luxury villas, and a public shopping and commercial center that will include supermarkets, medical offices, and entertainment spaces. But what truly defines the Pinnacle is not its luxury, it's its foundation. Each tower rests on hydraulic piles driven 180 feet deep into the earth, a method that ensures long-term stability in both seismic and hurricane conditions. These hydraulic piles reduce ground vibration during installation, minimize noise impact on nearby communities, and provide exceptional load-bearing strength. The building's interior height also sets it apart, with ceilings 14 feet high up to the 24th floor and 16 feet high on upper levels. Even though it has 28 floors, the Pinnacle will surpass many taller count structures in actual height because of these extended ceilings, nearly double the height of standard 8 or 9 foot designs. The heart of this transformation stands the Pinnacle, located in...
All right. Why do you think, let me talk to my Jamaican people. Why do you think I show the Pinnacle and the advancement of the Pinnacle and the stage of where the Pinnacle reached? When I explain to you, you are going to see the stark corruption as it relates to this administration and Jamaica. If we don't come together as a people, right? Do a peaceful march against this government for them to get out of power, it is going to be crippling for us. Crippling for us. I want you to listen to me. I am going to show you evidence that that large Pinnacle that you have seen, it takes less than a year to build Jamaica. Less than a year to build. And the cost is less than 23 billion Jamaican dollars. Think where I'm going, people. Think where I'm going. It takes less than a year. So when someone hear me say that, them say, no mistake. You're crazy. Look here, people. Let me show you the evidence. Let me show you the evidence. Now watch this. Let us get to the evidence. Here it is, people. January 21, 2024. So when we speak around here, we're not telling any lie. You understand? This is a platform that builds on credibility. Builds on credibility. We know the foolishness around here, sir. We don't run tabloid around here, sir. We just show the solid evidence. Now come to you now, Andrew Honest. Now, Prime Minister breaks ground for Pinnacle residential development in St. James. St. James, Jamaica, Prime Minister Andrew Honest officially broke ground for the Pinnacle residential development in Montego Bay, St. James on Saturday. I want to see the date, you know, people. See the date, yeah? January 21st, 2024. Okay. Now, the private Pinnacle community will sit on its own peninsula and have over 500 apartments overlooking the City Marine Reserve. It will entail villas, sports, leisure, and shopping facilities, restaurant, and private residence club. Owner said that the project brings a new level of real estate development to the island. Right? Remember, say, you know, involved in this money, I know. Right? No money now to pass through the government coffers. And so there's no corruption, no go on in this, Andrew Honest. I want to congratulate the principals of LCH Development. It is a visionary project. It is a project that shows quite a bit bravery. And I know that there are many looking and saying this is substantial. And you need to mention Prime Minister Andrew Honest. It is a project that will show up on the corruption. This project show up on the corruption. You are not only breaking ground today, but you are also doing something that is groundbreaking in Jamaica, he said. Adding that the development will cement Jamaica brand in lifestyle segment of the hospitality market. Now, let me come to you now, Andrew. You let me come to you now. Now show the people that the country can prosper with you, you know. Pinnacle now becomes a success because you know involved. We talk about the thing now.
Tough tongue no involved.
Tough tongue no involved. We talk about the thing then.
Bush rat no involved.
Bush rat no involved.
Boom vase no involved.
Exactly. Government now have to procure. And so then for it avoid procurement, the contract can done in 1 year, less than $20 billion.
Talk up the thing now.
Go through government procurement. If that way ever go through government procurement, I would have banged around.
I tell you.
Jamaica. Look what going through government procurement now, and guess what? That building, Pinnacle, is a more technological advanced building.
Yes, man. Yes, man. It sit on its own peninsula. It sit on its own peninsula.
Yes, built from the ground up. Cornwall Regional Hospital was a refurbished.
God Almighty. God Almighty. Don't touch that.
So the Prime Minister knows so when he might jump out and push up himself, critical thinkers like us is going to make the comparison. You follow me, Big Mama? You hear me, George Davis? I hope you not stay far. Critical thinkers like us, we are going to make the comparisons. Now let us get into it. Now look at this, people. Come on, for them, you know, them think. You understand we are joking? We show the Prime Minister break ground. And in 1 year, the Pinnacle, right, almost completed. Just look at that. Look evidence now, people. We are going at them now. We are dealing with them today now. We don't play around here, so. No. Look at this embarrassment here.
Regional hospital coming together nicely.
Just was from the Chamber of Commerce, and we just visited Conroy Regional. And Dwayne, what you think about it?
Well, for what I can see, President Russell, there are no shortcomings. Everything is at A1 standard. All different areas that are being looked into right now, the theaters, A&E, storage areas, no shortcuts. And I'm impressed.
Like shit.
And looking at what I'm seeing here, we're getting first-class workmanship. We're getting
first-class workmanship.
What would expect to see in a Miami or in a New York or in a first world.
Criminality.
The materials being used. We toured the dietary.
Right.
And the layout, as a man in food and beverage, the way the place is laid out and the flow, the attention to air quality throughout the building.
Right,
we're looking at the duct systems, oxygen in and out, fire suppression. You know, these are things that we learned and we saw on the tour. And just overall, you know, proper workmanship. Everything feels sturdy and strong.
Does.
And
it really does.
The attention to the biohazards, you know, making sure that the air flows. So if you cough on one side of the building,
it doesn't
you don't catch the flow on the other side. You know, we learned a lot today.
You know, a lot of employment will be put into this facility.
Yeah.
So as we said, another proud moment.
I said something in there. I said, why I need to? I hope I get to stay at the hospital. I really don't want to be in the hospital. But you know, things like moving the morgue out and things like that. I think you know it takes time.
It really,
They've reclaimed a lot of spaces. And when I'm hearing about some of the horror stories on the tours about liquid seeping through floors and water and mold and poor air quality, it's timely. It's timely that it had to be fixed. No, we couldn't go any further. From the chamber,
a good one. Looking forward to the next visit.
Definitely.
The next 4 months.
Definitely.
All right.
Set up criminal on the man.
A PR that, you know, that is a PR. Just listen to the conversation, how the conversation is constructed. A PR.
Well, I'm going to wrap him up. I'm going to wrap him up, you know. That's why I'm sure you understand the pinnacle that has nothing to do with government procurement. You understand me? I said the people that come in and spend their money and know pinnacle exists. You understand? In 1 year, you understand? Less than 20 billion Jamaican dollars.
Okay.
Right? And now watch this. Now I'm going right now and show the old dirty criminal from 2016. From Andrew Holness take over power. Andrew Holness to deal with Cornwall Regional Hospital from 2016. Is this like Andrew Holness? You are dealing with Cornwall Regional Hospital from 2016. And I know it cannot be completed. You think if you want to deal with the pinnacle, it will come out of foundation?
You're mad that them come out.
The government will deal with the pinnacle. That wouldn't leave out the foundation as yet.
No.
This pinnacle showing us that damn effing criminal. I want to figure out prison. You all figure out prison. Let me show you why. Let me show you the information now. Let me show you the information why you need to figure out prison. You don't need to figure out prison. PR can't put you up and save you. You people are criminals. You people are criminals. Stifling the taxpayers. Let me show you judgment on us today. Let me show you some more evidence of judgment. Tardy accounts. People will come build up it. You understand? Let me build up this, bring up this, and show the people. You understand? Let me big it up and show you. See there? See there? See the criminal there, yeah? See the criminal there? This is a project of go through procurement. See it, yeah? Jamaican taxpayers and the parliament are still unable to assess how the Ministry of Health and Wellness spent almost $700 billion in public resources allocated to the ministry over a 10-year period, you know, owing to the apparent failure by Permanent Secretary Dunstan Bryan to submit the appropriation account, right, to the Auditor General in keeping with the Financial Administration and Audit account. So when we talk about this, You understand? And Big Mama him run out. And Charles Davis run out. Right? I'm going to call Jeanette Calder. I want to mix up Jeanette Calder. Right? In the whole mess. $3 trillion unaccounted for. 700 billion as it relates to Cornwall Regional Hospital cannot be accounted for. What Duncan Brenner said, you understand? That the appropriation account has not been submitted. I want to ask the Auditor General. Let me take down the document and talk to my people in here, man. Let me just take down the document and talk to my people, them. Because me, not play around, that's how we say we not play. No, I'm talking to my people. Now you tell me, my people. Here's a Pinnacle, right? Not a government project, right? Start from ground, more technically advanced, more difficult to build. And Pinnacle, 1 year. 1 year. Less than $23 billion that the thief them projected to use. The first time them started it out, from 2016, $2 billion. Then it leave from $2 billion, no gone over. And gone to $4 billion. Then it leave from $4 billion. Right? It no gone. You understand? I say leave from $4 billion. And then now, him come out, oh, the PNP talk about $23 billion. It is not $23 billion. It's $9 billion spent. $9 billion spent to do what? A refurbish. Refurbish, you are refurbishing. How could you have done a cost analyst in 2016 that you'd have used the technocrats to do that cost analysis and said, okay, $2 billion. So when you make a mistake as it relates to the pricing and overall cost. So you go on again. When you still go back and make a mistake again. Right? In 2000, right? And 19, when you go up to what? $4 billion? So you were wrong as it relates to cost analysis when it comes to $2 billion. And you also wrong again when it comes to cost analysis when it comes to $4 billion. And you also wrong again when it comes to cost analysis when it comes to $9 billion. And you are going to be wrong again when it comes to cost analysis. Overall projection now, 23 billion. Hey, Miss Una, fucking criminal. You are deserving to go prison. You are deserving to go prison. So when we say the man at the helm is a criminal.
Yes, man.
No joke talk. This is serious. Him need to go looking at the mirror. Go on looking at the friggin' mirror. You are robbing the Jamaican people. You and Jonas, you have robbed investors. You have robbed investors. Look in the mirror. When you first joined Olint, if we are to say, okay, all right, you never know that Olint was a Ponzi scheme. Give you that.
Benefit of the doubt. Yeah, give it.
Give you the benefit of the doubt. So you never know that Olint was a Ponzi scheme. Anyway, you benefited maximally. And you now would have heard, you would have known that investors suffer. A good reason with you, Andrew Honest. Because you think people are idiots. You and your wife, who's an accountant, would have known that that's a pyramid scheme. You know that people suffered. You'd have heard the news. That many investors lost their money. And then, after you benefited, what Olin did, Olin went into their coffers and give the Jamaica Labour Party $5 million to fund their political campaign. Just imagine a system that rob investors, crippling our economy. A political leader who asks the people to vote for him because he can bring progress in the people's life. He can make changes. He can develop for future generation to come and benefit. And this is what he had done. So you benefited from Olin. Investors suffer. Did you stop? Did you stop your onslaught? No. You went into cash plus and repeat your onslaught on the people. Investors again suffer. The economy crumbled. Did you stop there, Prime Minister? No. You didn't stop. You went into SSL. And again you benefited. And again investors suffer. And now, you still not stop your onslaught. You're cooking up lies. You're on favor and Darrell Valls as it relates to JPS. But you know what? Some of the people, like a big mama, who coming out and said, you were never born with a gold spoon. What does that effing mean? Talk to me. Talk to me, big mama. Cliff Hughes. What do you mean by that? The Prime Minister never born with a gold spoon. He has to go into Cash Plus. He has to go into Olin. He has to go into SSL. And you justify something like that? Big Mama is a piece of dog shit. You justify something like that? Let me ask you something, Big Mom. Have you seen PJ Patterson join those investment? Have you seen Portia Simpson join those investment? Have you seen Michael Manley join those investment? Have you seen even Edwards here join those investment? But you come and try to justify an evil, the onslaught that Andrew Holness brought out on the Jamaican people. And someone on the social media, they try to justify what? What? It cannot be justified. It is wrong. And it is you who give the Prime Minister strength to go on. You influence where the Prime Minister cannot do an introspection to look in the effing mirror and say it is wrong, morally, ethically, and criminally. It is wrong. It is a fundamental wrong. Cannot be defended. A statutory declaration cannot be certified. he cannot explain his illicit enrichment that so link him to what the investigators are investigating. And what you prefer to do? Burn down the Integrity Commission investigators to make them into liars? Huh? That they are net fishing. When you look on the characters in the Integrity Commission, they are decent and upright citizens. They are decent citizens. Andrew Onless administration want to make them into wrongdoers. It is not right. It's both morally and ethically wrong. Wrong. But not until the Jamaican people, as what Marcus Garvey said, that many of them will not know themselves, and even when them back are against the wall. You tell me, how can you justify, or anyone can justify this? We have a leadership crisis in Jamaica. We have a leadership crisis in Jamaica. We have a dictator rising upon us. The Prime Minister who represents the executive is sleeping with Onless, his wife. What angle the Parliament, the legislature? We should have never have that. And why did we allow that? Why didn't we demonstrate? I'm not going to blame any opposition to say, okay, they need to hold issues and blah, blah, blah. No, people need to walk out. It is time that people need to march out and stop them in their tracks. It is despicable. I am defending my country, and I am defending future generation. Andrew Onless, your actions are killing us. You are a current person, 100% pure evil, and no one can say otherwise. You have no evidence to support you, and you are here running campaign about misinformation and disinformation. You're a natural evil, and I yield back. Make anything part coming.
You know, just on the subject of corruption and, you know, how we perceive corruption right now. And the people where we are looking at, who we know are the prime players in the corruption ring. Yeah? The other night I make a statement and I use the broad brush and paint everybody. But I forget to say, you know, I have few exemptions, you know, that are exception to what's going on. And I went, you know, apologize to these two individuals, Isaac Buchanan and the Sheriff KD Knight. I don't know if them two individually, you know, playing a part in the corruption where the judicial system is concerned. So I clear up that. Now make I touch on where you just point out. Pinnacle. Pinnacle is a prime example. Prime example of what a country can achieve without corruption at the center of any negotiation or development. Pinnacle is a prime example. Pinnacle coming from 180 meters out of the down in the ground, it a come out. 180 meter. The pin them put down there. It build on its own peninsula. So you know it have its own structural reinforcement to hold it. It rely upon that. It build against hurricane and earthquake. Yeah? So it build to can adapt to any form of natural disaster and withstand it. So Jamaican taxpayers just using Pinnacle as a pilot project for guide with. Jamaican taxpayers not getting any form of value for the money that is contributed into the tax fund. Just look at Beryllium Hospital. Cornwall Beryllium Hospital, I have been saying it for a long time, was implemented to be a cash cow to fuel taxpayers' money down into that cash cow and then move it somewhere else. Using Cornwall Beryllium Hospital as a face card. You see how much here? That under refurbishment construction. We're not talking about building construction, you know, where you're building from scratch like Pinnacle. We are talking about refurbishment work being done to modernize and to whatever they're doing with it. But it moved from a projected total of $2 billion. And it now currently sits between 23 to 24 billion dollars. And I mean, no one can dispute or challenge these figures that I am explaining around here. Good? But it still can't reach completion stage. Just look what them do after we have beat them the whole year with it. Because them know say it's a sore, you know, for the government, you know. Them know. You see a guy run, go down there, go up the admin, go up the administration department. Well, we know who work in the admin, you know, and a patient, you know. Are people who deal with, you know, statutory paperwork, like secretary and all them people there. Yeah, I feel them place that. The office. You go there, so you sign up, you know, you book in yourself, you do all type of thing. Yeah, administration department. And that the guy go down the guy tough down go down there go do, you know. Yeah, because I have to try and ease the burden and the pressure with upon him. Because him know for a fact say people like we know where them going with, and them can't tell we nothing different from what we know them going with. Yeah? Because number one, you know, if that was a legitimate project, you know, you could never have Trapper John as project man, you know. You could never have Trapper John as project manager. Trapper John is a piece of shit. We see, man. You ever see the project manager threaten people in an election time? Tell me. Who never know if a project manager where one thing him up on him CV is a culinary art when fail to complete within the prescribed time him have to resit the exam or the course. But him a project manager there, so then that alone no show no say that corruption around this man. You have a piece of shit like Trapper John who's a political activist with a sperm whale, yeah, for the party. Sperm whale, you know. Sperm whale blagger for the Jamaica Labour Party. Him now have not more. Him a criminal, but him a project manager. When Beryllium come, you see him on rooftop a shoot video. PR, piece of shit.
Tell Carol that the Pinnacle is in St. James.
Yes, Carol, the Pinnacle's in St. James. If I see where you asked in the comment section. Thanks for relaying that to me, Sir Byron. So, Carol, the Pinnacle is in St. James. So when we look on all of this in front of we, yeah, you see where the people might trick the country, yeah? Because if it wasn't for the election, you know, we're gone, you know. You wouldn't see tough tongue run go down there I easily I try open up administration department at Carnival Beryllium. I beat the people and trick the people and lie to the people. Say it go open. Carnival Regional Hospital open now. It complete. It complete. With their December month now. 2025 are done. But the piece of shit leading up to the election, run go down there with the PR again. I try to make much out of nothing. When we know, say, Cornwall Beryllium Hospital, they use it as a cash cow to move most of the money we're missing. Here, and use garbage like Trapper John there. Unqualified done spot. Him do even qualify if you are done spot, you know. Him unqualified, so you know him well done. And him you have this, a gunman that, you know. Because we see him a threaten people. A criminal that. I'm want to know the police them see him put out a video like that where him a threaten people and know them not going to grab the piece of shit. But we hear some nastiness from NNN net now where I come out like them want to come off for people where I do good work. They look you can't come for we, you know. Because we tell you, you know, we are investigative journalism work and that we do around here, so. We investigate to no garbage down there, so. We no piece of shit or no corruption, we investigate to no. Yeah? So we are now the typical bloggers them. But we don't have no problem with people who blog as long as them blog the right thing. You understand? But that no good. The government no incentive and no give big nasty thinking swarty big sour crutches mama. Become a broadcast about where people are said. When Malawood mattress food, you a mattress. Yeah? Did in charge of the legislative constitution. She never did do nothing about that. No, she out and she's a backbencher. We hear straight edge, A.K. Emily Panty Shield. I try to defend her. Try to defend her. And I say people forget charge now. We put out this dissemination and misinformation and all type of information. You understand? When I them, you know, are the master of all of them thing there. And them do it every day on a daily basis. We have to try to balance the landscape by counteracting the lies them and tell the people them the truth. You understand? So these type of events just show Jamaica they don't have any sense where the country is, what type of leadership around the country, what type of information you get. See, tough time come tricking with beryllium they were there. Going into the election for look good. For the party look good. A party where staying with shit and corruption can never look good nor smell good. But him go down there, go working admin. Can tell the contractor them say, yeah, what now? Just fix up a little part of the admin, man. We're going to use this, man. Yeah, we are come do a little thing and present it and show the people them. I want to go with them, suck them, man. Yeah? The whole of the money robbed down there, no? And here we Tough Tongue say, I know 23 million. After him come talk that, you know. Tough Tongue say 9. So Tough Tongue, where's the 14? Where is the 14 billion then? Because if it's not 23, you know, and it's 9 as what you say, you know, we want back the 14 billion. And the same thing we see with the school bus them. 1.4 billion take for 110 all bus, 60 come, 50 can't come, but we don't know where the rest of money there. But man like me and Byron and Loan, some know where it gone. And it just sit out there giving an election campaign. So them just use the whole bus them what them know about where I give it as a face card for the 1.4 billion. Where it never go under no farmer procurement. Nothing attached to it like that. Yeah, and it's not an emergency relief package because Melissa never come. Yeah, Melissa never come, you know. So it's not like it was an emergency relief package, you know. We never have no earthquake, you know. We never have the mountain slide, slip and landslide and all these things, you know. But 1.4 billion gone for 60 old bus. And the 60 all bus come cost the taxpayers a vast amount of money because them create havoc since them are run on the road. Whole heap of accident them involved in a. Some of them all mash up all road surface because it's stuck. Stuck! You understand? So when we package the corruption, we can't have no space for it. It's too much. We have to just let it out according to the subject matter where we are touched, but we have all of the corruption them. We Andrew Wallace administration stockpile. Them stockpile corruption till them can't find no warehouse. Them can't go in a parliament, my people. The warehouse them full. It gone in a parliament now. You understand? So we have to come and try to educate Jamaicans. Yeah? Those who are in favor of Jamaica, those who love the island as their pride of home, place where they born and live. We're not talking to the people who love the scandal bag and out. Yeah? Because those people, they are what you call radicalized in corruption. This Andrew Wallace administration radicalize the people that support the party in corruption because handout is corruption. Is it taxpayers' money? Andrew Wallace don't take no time 28 bank account to fund the handout. Taxpayers' money. This is how the guy use taxpayers' money to protect him corruption and him criminality. So we have problem with that. Big problem, my people. And right now, me I tell you, we have to turn up the heat under the administration here. If the voting system can't move them, then the heat are going to move them. Because remember, you know, just say now destroy the world with no more water, you know. But with brimstone and fire. So Andrew Wallace, prepare for the brimstone and fire. Because something have to move you. You are not the creator of heaven and earth. You can't make dirt. So I don't know you want one Jamaica as your own. No other prime minister has ever motivated themselves towards owning the country apart from this shit guy when you're Andrew Wallace. This piece of garbage. We carry the stench and the smell of corruption up in a parliament. And want to desecrate the House of Representatives. We have to move this piece of garbage. We have to send this piece of shit to prison. And all those who are backing him, all these high court judge, and jury and everybody we are backing because the whole judiciary system, apart from who I select, are corrupted. They are facilitating the high level of corruption by providing protectance and guidance for the governance of the country, the nasty governance. The nasty governance. Because them are no government, you know. Them are governance. Them are bite the people, them. Government take care of people. Them are governance, yeah. Them are bite the people, them. Andrew a bite out the flesh out of the people, them. Can't remember, hands can't strip you down, you know. Anything you put out there and it dead and make and swarm it, them strip it down. Them are the governance. We are bite the people, them. We have to move them and replace them with real government. And I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, blessings, because we are going to deal now with some judgment around here as it relates to Big Mama, right, and those who campaigning, right, for us to stop from speak, right, for those who are threatening freedom of speech. Right? Now, of course, you know that the Prime Minister administration, right, big up and applaud JP vloggers, right? And where Hero Clark said that if it wasn't for the vloggers, right, 80% of them in parliament wouldn't have been
85, correct with number, 85.
85% of them who have been in parliament wouldn't have been there. And these vloggers, they went out and they spread their lies, spread their venoms and all of that, right? Blaming PNP for FinSAC, right? Which many of them don't even know what FinSAC means. Now, to be truthful, they don't even know what FinSAC means, right? And so then, you know, Prime Minister, right, create that narrative, pushing it out there, where the Prime Minister himself benefited from FinSAC.
Immensely.
Let's look at that, right? And so then when you look, you realize that, I mean, the level of hypocrisy. And now we have been attacked, right, by those who want to silence us. Those who want to say that, you know, we have no right, to speak in terms of identifying what we are investigating, identifying, and disseminating, right? Now, the fuck of the matter, right? Come out and tell us where we lie. Show John public. Come on the platform and challenge us, right? If you want to prove yourself, right? Many of them will not come on this platform. They will write off this platform, right? They will never, ever step their foot over here, right? For the very same reason to the fact that we established the evidence. And they are scared of the evidence. They are scared of the truth. As though vampires and Draculas are afraid of the cross and the holy water. That's what the truth, right, is like to them in making that comparison. Now, let us look at this, my Jamaican people. Let us look at this. Let us look at this. All right. Let us look at this. And let us hear from Oral Tracy, right? And people, right, remember, can go over TikTok, big up Oral Tracy. You understand? And endorse him. Oral Tracy always speak, right, the truth, right? He's someone who is very balanced, right? And, you know, I like most times in terms of when Oral Tracy comment. And here's another comment from Oral Tracy.
YouTube family, the map can this place one more time. Discombobulated again by certain issues. When we see I go on the local, this time we are saying in the public space. This big alabaloo about misinformation and disinformation. You know, some have a personal problem with it though. As a long time man we work in the information industry. Years and years in a traditional media. Years and years in a older media. Now deep into new media. Me can understand how people, especially people in the media, can complain so much about the freedom of media and the freedom of expression. Obviously, the people who complain the most generally are the politicians, especially the politicians who control the narrative and just want people to do PR and PR and PR and PR. Them the one, it's almost like they want to take away the capacity of people to have freedom of expression. And either them go embrace the evolution of media, you know, embrace technology and the simple use and the availability of every single individual now with a gadget, and them can say what they want and publish it without any licensing authority or any gatekeeper. We hold the gate and tell people what them can say and what them not to say and what kind of word them to use. It's just the consequences of the times and the consequences of the evolution of the media space. And the Jamaica alone, you know, because such man up top there every day talk about fake news, fake news, fake news. See? But if you understand such man again, such man is a politician who want control the narrative and only want favorable narrative. Oh, me look at it is very simple, you know. Let the competition reign. Make all who say what they want to say what they want to say. Because you have people who are equally biased, you know, in terms of twisting the way things are presented to make one particular entity look good and one particular individual look good. And they know them kind of boast like them are the bastions of objectivity. They are not. That is why me say make all views contend. You see all the colorful language that some people have a problem with. Me love it. Me love some of the unfiltered people and say what they want to say. Now, as to our defamation law them in Jamaica. A long time our defamation law them in Jamaica a joke thing. In Jamaica, you can't say nothing about a public official. And when them are rob and them are pillage and them are thief, you can't say nothing about them. Public officials who have spent taxpayer money and all them something. You see the clear evidence and you have information say them are criminal. And you can't even hint it, you know. Them send them lawyer, them and them big law firm. Come. Well, you see, now that we have unfiltered social media and unfiltered individuals who just say them piece, them can control the narrative and them can send them lawyer friend them upon them. So them have a problem with that. So there's this big thing now about misinformation. How me look at it, you know, it's very simple, you know. Put all of the information in the public space and make the public decide. Do not disrespect the intelligence and the capacity of the general public to decipher what is what and what them want to believe and what them don't want to believe. All of a sudden, who want to think for the consumer of the information. Since you don't have a problem with bad information and misinformation, who put out the good information and make the people have the good information and the bad information and see which one of them more credible. Show respect to the people's ability to decipher. It's a sign of dictatorship, you know. When you see people who in a power have a problem with people with dissenting voices, and but I want like a hypocrite and see what I want. So when you dare to look and scrutinize and look at some issues that affect the national, you know, issues in the national space, and issues that are compromising to some of our elected leaders, them when you call out them something, you know. Them when you put a PR twist to it. And them have them people in a conventional and non-conventional media where do them PR twist to them, you know. But because them don't have everybody now in them pocket and a sing for them song, them have a problem with freedom of expression. Don't do it. Don't do it. It is a level of intolerance that is aligning with dictatorship. It's either not embrace, you know, the evolution, you know, and modernization, you know, in all aspects of life, or not embrace it, you know. Or you can be selective about what to embrace about 2025, you know. And a big part and a positive part of 2025 compared to 1975 and 85 is the fact that people can talk and say them peace. And as a man when in the talking industry and say them peace industry, allow the people to make them talk and say them peace. If somebody says something, but them tell lie by you, and them defame you, and you can prove the defamation, and you can prove the lie, them and tell fine. You take the requisite action. Because people tell blatant lies. You know that. Whole lot of people tell blatant lies in this space. But me I get the sense, say they want to control the narrative. People want to control the narrative. And if you not say what them want you to say, and if you not fire some friendly fire, you know, you are against them and you're against the good of the country and you fight against this and you fight against that. So when the people are paranoid, let the people decipher and decide what is good information.
All right.
Give me a jingle there.
All right.
Awesome.
Exactly. That's awesome. How we see that.
Big up poor old Tracy for that.
Big up poor old Tracy for that, of course.
Yeah, man. Give me awesome, man.
Yeah, he's speaking the truth. And that is, you know, when you see them start to do that, attack us, right? Of course, they're attacking freedom of speech.
They attack democracy.
They want to be selective, right?
Yeah.
Then why did they go into parliament and pick up them vloggers? Yeah?
Well, at the time, Byron, them never have no competition.
Exactly.
Them didn't have the play field for themselves. So anytime something suit them laud it and applaud it. Anytime it's a problem, them want to criticize and destroy it.
All right. What you want to know, Melting Pot? Let me see if you have the one to know. What you want to know?
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared war, his words, against what he calls deliberate mischief and false information in the Hurricane Melissa recovery effort. And of course, you know, I have some thoughts on that. I'm Dion Jax Miller. Thank you so much for joining me. Time for tea. All right, so there are 3 points I want to cover in this video, all right? One, the fact that misinformation and disinformation, they're a big problem we all have to deal with, for real, for sure. Number two, having said that, we need to watch government's responses very carefully. And number three, the amount of fervor and passion we're hearing from the PM on this issue, I'd love to hear that same fervor, see that same passion from him and other government ministers when it comes to denouncing their own supporters who are weaponizing social media. All right, let's get into it.
All right, stop there. So, Dion Jackson, I'm not going to take too much of your material. I just want you to make that point, right? That they have no checks and balance, right? And their own so-called vloggers and bloggers, right? They are okay, right? When their vloggers and bloggers, right, do their thing. But where are we going from here? As Dion Jackson addressing misinformation and disinformation, the Prime Minister went out, right, I mean, blatantly blaming the People's National Party for FinSac. That is misinformation. That is misinformation, Prime Minister. You know that it is not true, right? And you're out there selling that. And at the same time, here you are, right, talking about misinformation and disinformation, right? And you want to try to, you understand, see if you can suppress it, right? It is not going to work. It is not going to work, right? So while you are doing it, right, and you are talking about people, you are talking about the People's National Party, right, benefited from the 95 financial meltdown, because that is what you are addressing. They call it FinSac, right? We are going to show you that you benefited from the 1995 financial meltdown. You benefited from it, right? But you don't want to talk that, and you run out with a narrative. We are going to show you the evidence, right, where you benefited from it. Now look at this now, PJ. Look at this now, Andrew Holness. You look at this, right? And yet you are talking about misinformation and disinformation. You are disingenuous. You remember this investigation by Zara Burton? Look at it here. Here's the evidence. On August 10, just before announcing the September 3 general election date, Jamaica Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness derided the opposition People's National Party, PNP, over the high interest policies of the 1990s, right, which crippled the financial sector, caused thousands of entrepreneurs to lose their homes and business, and cost Jamaica 40% of GDP. Right here, so Prime Minister, what you say is a careless lie. The People's National Party have nothing to do with this. And you know definitely that it is the GLP who have done that. You understand? You, right, had spent several $1 million to complete, right, the FinSac report. The FinSac report completed, right, and you failed to show it. So this goes to show you with your misinformation and disinformation. Remember, you pay for the investigation to be done. The investigation done. And what the investigation is telling you, that this thing done by the Jamaica Labour Party, and so then you keep it in store, you don't want to show it. Then if you have your got you moment, you pay for an investigation that totally completed. And you have the evidence to prove now. Why you not come out and show the public? Say, see it here. See it here. Read it. You don't read it. Right? You can't do it. Because you know that Seaga benefited from Dan Crawford gave Seaga over $30 million US. You know that. And you know the report said that. Right? Yes. And you know that you involved in giving back SSL license 2017 when the PNP shut them down 2012. You know that SSL was once called Paul Chen Young and Associate. And you rise back SSL. plus your party of SSL, right? Gone into SSL to rob investors. So this is how cruel you are. You are the person who creating misinformation and disinformation. Vicious and cruel. Now, addressing a galvanized crowd of Jamaica Labour Party supporters, owners targeted opposition leader Mark Golding, whose farmer investment firm profited during the period, declaring no poor person in Jamaica should ever allow that man to touch the economy. Another lie you tell again. Another lie. This is what you call disinformation. This is very serious. When you can concoct a story like this, where you know say this, nothing like that went on. And you know that this sort of lie, you understand, can cause mayhem. This is what you call defamation of character. Mark Golding should have sued you. That is what Mark Golding need to do, you know. Mark Golding should have sued you for this. Because he and his friend would continue where they left off of transferring wealth from you to their coffers. You hear how wicked you are? We don't know, say, are you do that? Eh? This is how cruel you are. He contrasted this with his own record. I went through Jamaica struggle. You went through Jamaica struggle. Well, Jamaica struggle is cash Cash Plus and SSL. That is the struggle that you have been through. Talk to us to show you you're vicious and lie. I went through the Jamaican struggle and I never made any money on the backs of Jamaican people. Talk to me now, Andrew Honest. So what you doing, what you doing, Wolint? You don't make no money on the back of Jamaican people. What the hell you are doing in Olint? What you are doing in Cash Plus? And what are you doing in SSL? Eh? You know, hold on. You don't get rich on the back of the poor people money. You cannot explain your illicit enrichment. So how then, right? You don't rich on the backs of Jamaican people. Eh? That's directly what you have done. That's directly what you have done. Just look on it. Right? Here it is.
It is those people who had the investment houses that benefited. And then now they want to come and pretend as if they never benefited from government. They benefited from the bad economic policies which affected you. It was so bad that a member of their own party, a member of their own cabinet, a man of the cloth, a man who was a churchman, he had to comment, his conscience was pricking him. And he said this policy of the high interest rate was the greatest transfer of wealth from you, the poor people, to them, the man who claimed that he is a Tapanaris. He was the one who benefited.
No, and
this
that's
piece of shit, yeah, for that piece of shit house, yeah, man. Make a talk to me, so now.
Hold on.
Make a talk to.
Hold on the melting pot. Hold on the melting pot. I'm going to give you more ammunition for killing man. Hold on melting pot. No, you want now. You have time to say that? Watch this now. This is how it benefited. Watch it now. However, an 18 degrees north investigation raises question about whether Honest himself may have benefited from the very fallout for which he condemns the PNP. Hold on a melting pot. Let me give you the ammunition, man. In 2002, the then first-time opposition member of parliament and his wife, Juliet, who would later also become an MP and Speaker of the House, purchased a property whose loan had been taken over by the government financial sector adjustment company and made it their own.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you more ammunition for beating man. Look on this now.
We have enough to beat him already.
Listen,
yeah, I mash him up already. But what do I do? Me have enough ammunition run to kill that. Because that's a liar, you know. But one thing I like when the guy say Marky G benefit. The high interest rate Jamaican people was.
Hold on. Almighty God. Hey. But him. Hold on. Do you want my golden James said? Yes. Declare all him assets. Right? Now, Andrew Honest. Right? When you submitted your statutory declaration filings, right? Did you mention estate bridge? Did you mention estate bridge? Eh? Did you mention the leader taxi service? You show you're corrupted, lie, and wicked. Did you mention them? The Integrity Commission have to get a special investigator to investigate and discover those things. Did you mention them to the Integrity Commission in your filing? And here you sick Jamaican tomorrow. Remember me tell you. Talk him out, goal, make him know say it false. Scurrilous and false.
Byron, me not hear you, you know.
You're not hearing it?
Yeah, you trip out. Nah, I hear you. Just come a while ago and you talk back to me.
So it's okay now?
Yeah, me hear you now. But when you talk, me never hear you.
Talk to him, man. Hit him. Hold on, man. Pull back. Hit him, Marky. Hit him. Hit him where it's hurt. Oh, dirty hypocrite. Hit him again, Marky.
Now come from the tape, Byron. Nah, hear
Are
nothing
you
from
hearing
it.
it?
Me hear you, but me not hear the video where you play.
Oh, shit. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, all right. Let me see. I don't know. Okay. Sorry about that, man. Okay. So you weren't hearing it, right?
No, we not hear the tape.
Okay, hold on. Are you hearing it now?
No, me not hear nothing yet.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. And I thought you were. Hold on. Hold on there. And give me a minute there. Come here. I'm playing a video, but they are not hearing it. I'm not getting the share thing to So it seems like I've done something wrong. It's a lucky thing that you just came, right? You just came in time. This video, let me try if you play.
It's not shared.
No, share it for me. Cause the share thing, since I come out of that window.
Hold on. Hello, everyone. Bless up, melting pot.
Big up, lady.
Big up. Which one you want to share?
Oh,
was it this one?
No, this.
This one?
Yeah.
It's sharing.
No, this. We have to. Are you seeing it now, melting pot?
Yeah, back up on the screen.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Sorry about that. My bad. Okay. All right. Good. Here I'm telling you. You could have like. That's a lie. So, Andrew Owners, let me ask you a question. Did you reveal Estate Bridge in your submission? No, you didn't. Did you reveal the Leader Taxi Service in your submission? No, you didn't. The Integrity Commission have to get special investigators to investigate and find out those 3 companies, right? You're vicious and evil. People need to know this. Anyway, let me play it. Hit him, Mark Golden. Hit him, Marky G. Make him know say this. You disclose everything. And that is why you're certified. Him did not do it. Go ahead. You hear him? That's the problem.
Then why just stop it.
Okay. You're still not hearing Melting Pot?
Oh, we're not hearing from the team.
Pass the pen.
Okay, well, what me never know, so now hear it.
Pass the pen. Limited time.
Because something wrong with the link there, but we have to recreate the link and send it up because so that means I didn't do anything wrong then. It's a break in the link.
A break in the link, yeah.
But, okay, all right. Well, yeah, we're gonna sit up because we want the people to hear it.
It's 18 degrees, not TV. All right.
We are recreate the link. Okay, there it is. Yeah. All right, so Melting Pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the meantime, just go on talk on the floor. Let me try.
Yeah, man. Because me did want the people them understand say when Andrew come at talk about FinSac and one who benefit. Andrew a garbage, you know. The man too lie and him too barefaced with the lie. Because everybody by now knows Seaga, yeah, and him friend Dan Crawford. One of them conspire cause the meltdown in the 90s. You understand? Because 31 million US was borrowed, you know, from Central National Bank, you know, where Dan Crawford and him are the man for the bank. Yeah? When him get to Seaga, that no pay back. Yeah, and that cause the meltdown. You understand? Now, hear what it is now. Where I come fling blame for Marky G. Is either Andrew Duns, yeah, him a lunatic, yeah, or something. Because at the time, the government had to put the Bank of Jamaica, yeah, had to come up with a 9% deterrent factor, yeah, as it relates to interest rate. So it has slowed down the borrowing because there was no more foreign exchange in the country. The guy them drained the foreign exchange coffers in the country. Yeah? So the 9%, and it happened anywhere in the world. The 9% interest rate was to slow down the borrowing by the consumer. People who are look money for borrow. That was a deterrent factor. Okay? Now, where Mark Wolin come into question? Mark Wolin have a financial institution and people decide to come and borrow. The government set that rate, not Marky G. And they borrow. Because Marky G did have the goods to offer them. So they borrow. But how many people could borrow at 9% interest rate? Very few. Very few. And the reason why the people was in such a situation, people put up them house. People put up them house as collateral for the money where them take. For putting the feeling all in. You understand? So, the money gone where you invest not all in. Your house step on the line. You have to get money for borrow from somewhere. Somewhere you have to get the money for borrow from. So if Marky G them in a financial institution lend people money at the 9% interest rate, Marky G never set a 9% interest rate. That was set by the Bank of Jamaica. And people wanted to protect them property. So they went and they borrowed the money. But who benefit big time? Andrew Holness and the Vars, them benefit because them buy house from the people them at cheap money. The same people where them rob, them buy them house, where the people them have to put up them house for sale. Because rather than you make the mortgage people who you borrow the money from come take the house off of you and you don't get nothing. You don't look at sale Peter and see if you can even keep back a 10 cents after you pay off who you borrow money from. To put in them fail Ponzi scheme with all of your money gone. So people was pressed for time. So you have to go look at where it was. You have to go and look at where it was. So if you get it from Marky G Financial Institution to clear yourself, yeah.
The video up. Let me try to play the video and then you comment.
All right, play it.
All right.
The leader of the opposition speaks
I hear it now?
Integrity.
Yes, man. I hear it now.
Trust. He was an advisor to a former minister of finance that put in place a policy of high interest rate, for which he acted as a broker for the government to invest loans and bonds for which he received a commission of high interest rate, to the point where one of his members described this as the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. He, the Topanaris lawyer, has made billions of this, yet he does not disclose this in his integrity report. In fact, he doesn't even have a house in Jamaica. How can we believe you? And do you have assets?
But how can we believe you? While he's asking gold in that, he did not disclose Estate Bridge.
No.
He did not disclose the leader taxi service. Is to show you how despicable this brother is. How despicable this brother is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The guy lied, man. The guy lied till it six to up, man.
For which you have not disclosed.
I've disclosed all my assets, and that's why my Integrity Commission declarations are certified. Your allegations are scurrilous and false. You made reference to DB&G, although you didn't call the name. DB&G was established in 1992 as an investment firm by 3 young Jamaican entrepreneurs. When the financial sector meltdown occurred some years later, and FinSAC was established as a response to try and protect the savers of this country so they didn't lose their money in their deposits in the banking system and their pensions and so on, DB&G, like other financial firms at the time, had to navigate that carefully to survive. We eventually were approached by a leading international bank, Scotiabank, who did a thorough due diligence on the company. It's a listed company where we were a listed company from inception. Our audited financial statements are public. Our quarterly financial statements are public. They looked at us inside out and upside down, found nothing, absolutely nothing untoward, and they bought the company. And we have nothing to hide on when it comes to DB&G. I would say, why is your government, having spent $200 million on this commission of inquiry into FinSAC, hiding the FinSAC report? Is it because you and your wife bought a house from somebody who had been FinSAC'd? You're a hypocrite, Andrew Holness, to be accusing me of anything in relation to FinSAC when you have been a direct beneficiary of the losses of somebody who was FinSAC, who lost their home because of FinSAC.
Yes, indeed. He's a big, dirty hypocrite. Right?
A shit, man.
Big
a shit, a sewage.
Right?
Guy and garbage.
Right, let me just play the final clip and bring a big old dirty hypocrite. You understand? Let me just bring in play the final clip and bring him back melting pot. You understand? For sure, because we're the thing with misinformation and disinformation to show you how terrible and dangerous. Now look on this now, people. Look at this. Look at this now, my peeps. This man is dangerous, man. Listen here.
Sat down and I looked at the dates. For months, we were at that point where we said nobody knew if they were being investigated. The Integrity Commission didn't send a letter. I don't know. Nobody has said anything to me. When you look at this report, the initial communication was September 30th, 2022 regarding the omissions in the 2021 statutory declaration. There were follow-up requests to provide additional information and corrections. February 23, 2023, March 6, 2023, March 12, 2023, April 4, 2023. He was interviewed on January 12, 2023. Further meetings and interviews were had, and a significant meeting was had on the 31st of August, 2023. A letter was sent on May 5th, 2023. I'm going to make sure I write them down because we don't want to make no error. A letter was sent on May 5th, 2023, informing him of the referral received for investigations regarding his 2021 statutory declarations, and the referral raised concerns about potential illicit enrichment and other issues. So here is the problem. Even if we're not concerned about the veracity, the truth in these documents, I am concerned that my leader, Dr. Andrew Holness, did not tell me as a voter, as an individual, as a citizen, that he knew that he was being questioned. All this time we were operating under the pretext that this was a dopey thing. Nobody don't know nothing about it. Now, when you look at this report, and this is when you want to ask for facts, if you don't think the money is important, the honesty, the truth is important, because you made me feel that nothing never goes up. And if you have interviews, you have emails, you have meetings, and a one-on-one thing. One of the meetings were held at his office. So tell me, Dion, as a Jamaican, even if I don't believe that the Barita people them said the thing right or the bond thing not right, and I adequately earn my money, why would you not tell me that you knew that you were being questioned?
Liar, man. Dirty liar. We say liar. Melting pot, hit him on the curry, man.
Well, you know, I'm the master of lie, that the undisputed king of lies. Yeah? Undisputed king of lies. Now the world is Andrew Holness.
Now
Yeah?
misinformation
Guy
that.
Eh?
Now misinformation that.
Yes, man.
But disinformation.
Disinformation, and corruption all mixed together in a one.
All right.
The antidote of lies. You understand? But him try to, come discriminate Sir Marky G. Yeah, like Marky G, that guy where, from them time they in a corruption. Mark Golding, Andrew, big head Andrew, big nose Andrew, DB and G, I gotta tell you, Deering, Bunting, and Golding. Now, Mark Golding and Chris Deering, them go campaign together. The two of them open as opening batsman in a cricket for campaign and Jamaica. Me know about them upbringing and those things. You understand? So they are partner from school and they venture into, partner in business. You understand? Them a partner in a cricket as well. Yeah? Bunting, you don't know. Yeah? Them link and them farm them thing. Them thing credibly listed from day one on the stock exchange. Listed! So you know that means credible. The man put out quarterly advice. You can go check it. You know the thing I run. Yeah, no hanky-panky business. So, here was it at the time. People need money regardless the high interest rate we have float round. Yeah, in the commercial banking sector. Yeah, but people need to get out of the trap, out of the fin sack. Yeah, where Andrew them fin sack the people their money. Yeah. Andrew and him friend them, fin sack the investors them. And benefit, not Marky G. Marky G them try to help the people them. Some people out step on the line. So you know them now got no roof over them head. Because them put them house as collateral for the borrowing where them did borrow. We do the investment in the Ponzi scheme. All of that gone. Taken away. I'm here to talk about people locally in the diaspora right now. Jamaicans, we suffer at the hands of the Labour government and the administration of where them perceive, to carry out high-level corruption. So people was at a loss, what me I go do in a problem. Even though Bank of Jamaica slow down the borrowing by hiking the interest rate to 9%. They use that as a deterrent factor because people, I will repeat again, where them costs, in that meltdown, there was no foreign exchange left in the country. Them wipe it out. Gone with it. A guy send back 5 million. Come get them. You understand? Yeah, because them clean it, When me have to clean it, them left nothing there. Where foreign exchange is concerned in the country, non-existent. And what you think Andrew and Pumvaz them do? That's why I tell you, the master of corruption and the lieutenant, them ever spar together, You see it? Pumvaz them buy house off of people. Sell it back within 4 months and make a bag of millions on it. Andrew them buy house off of people. They're living at it, get it for cheap. Them sell it and make a bag of money. Eventually them sell it and make a bag of money. So him benefit directly and indirectly. This piece of garbage, Andrew. Two-way benefit, Directly through the scamming and indirectly. Because the people under pressure, I'm going to buy them things cheap. Cheap. And sell it and make a bag of million. I think this guy is in front of it. This guy, easy when they're in front of it, same as the Prime Minister of Jamaica. A criminal from day one. I know a lot of Jamaican people that say, boy, at time a youth from down in the ghetto become. We cannot trust nobody from the ghetto again. To be the Prime Minister, we want people with upscale intelligent. The one time we make mistake and draft the underprivileged youth, it becomes too privileged and too powerful. Him forget where I come from. So me no want a guy come tell me, boy, him never born with no gold spoon in his mouth. Him have platinum now in his mouth. And that me see him have. Him have everything at him disposal. So forget about the whole time phrase gold spoon in his mouth. Here? Because nobody can. I would never born with a gold spoon in their mouth. Baby can't born with that. Good. So, we are look on this guy as a mastermind for everything where you can call corruption in Jamaica. Remember this guy gone over 2 decades and nearly 3 decades of corruption now, And nearly 3 decades, my people. You check back from in the 90s. 1997. Yeah? Me could start him there so. To know. At 28 years. 28 years. So I'm nearly to 3 decades in the corruption. And we have to halt him now. It's time. It's time him being brought to justice. Time for justice serve upon this piece of shit, Andrew Holness. Him no bigger than the law. The law is there long before him born. Guy did it before me born. And him is a little piece of piss and tail boy for me. But him look all on me still. Why? Heavily weigh upon him chest at night. And him heart and him head. The amount of corruption. Him can't sleep well, Can't sleep well. Him cannot sleep well just like how him tell us that the country not running well. You see him look all on me. Him older than me. I'm far way older than him by birth. But Andrew older than me and Mystic right now. With all the money where my teeth, it a weigh him down. Just look on the young man who him get old before time. And him have the biggest house in a CARICOM. The most bank account in a CARICOM. The most billion in a CARICOM at the Prime Minister. But look how him get old for a young boy. No, see something wrong with him. Something wrong with him. Him can't sleep well at night. Him not enjoy the billions them with him thief. Because I know the Titans them is watching him. Titans are watching you, man. You never know if God is going to rise up somebody for watch you. Well, God rise up the Titan. And we are look upon you. We are look upon you. We not take where you are for you. Until they move you. And you have to go, Me not ask you if you have to go. It's a must. You have to go. And all the judiciary people, them, we are on the judicial system, the judge and the lawyer, them, everybody. We have give you this incentive to carry on performing your work of art, your work of criminality. Them are going to go to. It don't want to break that master link. And that master link will be broken soon. That master link where all the corruption chain in Jamaica, it's going to break soon. It's going to be broken by all means. Because this one will try to fight a situation, want to use might to be it right, going to end up at the wrong place. I have come a privy council. And me, I will tell you this, don't even try to carry no butter with you, because them people over here don't take butter. Them don't take butter. Them work and collect them proper wages that can be certified. These people in the UK don't want no money that can certify. So don't think of your butter. You understand? Think, oh, you go slide in the slimy, nasty gutter. The gutter of corruption we are sending you back there. The corruption we are creating at the prison down there. For the youth them. Counting not mean them no good at there. We are fling your nastiness. In the same corruption, where drunk crew are your next door neighbor. Like what we see out of Spanish town, the whole heap of drunk to them and neighbor to the prisoner them. You understand? Because you, as a prime minister, your job don't give you the amount of billions where you have. You're a super mega billionaire in a CARICOM. Not just an ordinary billionaire. Super mega billionaire in CARICOM. How did you amass this amount of wealth? How? In a failing economy where Jamaica have. Eh? Jamaica is a country that borrows so much from IMF, World Bank, International Development Bank, and all the various lending institutions them. Borrow money from our government itself. Yeah, beg. Because we have a blind begging prime minister, you know. No other prime minister no beg like this piece of shit, yeah. You understand? But you so wealthy, eh? That is the reason why you take all the charity money and invest it for yourself. You're a thief. You're a bare-faced criminal. Take all charity money and do your own personal investment. You know, hey, Jamaican people no soon have in front of you. This guy you cannot believe not what him said. Kakuno years. Don't make him send no rubbish and no corruption through no years. Cock it. Better you take the paper next morning and read what him said. One listen what that piece of shit say. Because all them come to do is brainwash you with corruption and lies and trick and con and PR. How can a guy become so wealthy in our third world country? The man have more wealth than most first world leader. Trudeau left the prime minister office in Canada with the amount of money where Andrew have. Me now ask, I tell. David Cameron no leave the prime minister office with the amount of money where Andrew have. You understand? Boris Johnson no left there with the amount either. And if you check all of the UK prime minister them, we serve under the same Westminster model. That's why I talk about UK and make the comparison. None of them does not live with the amount of money where Andrew have. I remember them live in a jurisdiction where the currency far supersede Jamaica worthless monopoly money. You talk about the biggest currency in the world, the pound. But none of them the value Andrew Wallace wealth. None. And them preside over 60 to 70 million people in the UK. So you know, say, more money would have come in the taxpayers funding. Because more people you have a collect from. This guy get wealthy on the back of less than 3 million people. A major cause to concern this. How can a guy him not live nowhere else in the world but Jamaica? My people. Him not have no international career or nothing. This guy born in a 1 bedroom, sometime a 2 bedroom in a Spanish town. Yeah. Him not go nowhere else. And him wealthy than people who work overseas doing the same job. But them economy they bigger, the population bigger, so you know more money going at the pool from the taxpayers. But this guy we have preside over less than 3 million people so wealthy. Him figure out prison. Him figure out prison like no. And a joke business. I just choose some people just buy into this luxury of corruption, you know. Because corruption becomes a luxury item in Jamaica, but not for the majority, only for the minority. So you can't have the minority rule over the majority, you know. That's no fear. No. But who do the most work? The majority. The majority. So we done with slavery from in the 18th century. Yeah, we done with that. We don't want a big nose parrot guy come tell about slavery and introduce back slavery in our country. And we don't want a guy come take away democracy and replace it with dictatorship. We have to stand up against this regime. This regime must come under increasing pressure by the people of Jamaica. We cannot wait and sit down and talk about foreign government to come help Jamaica. No! We have to be our own pioneer. We have to be our own troubadour. We have to take matters in our hand. We can't wait for Uncle Sam. We can't wait for UK and none of these first world countries who align themselves to Jamaica. We cannot. We have to take matters in our hand. And the time is right now. The time is here and now for this to start commence. What Andrew Wallace is doing, it gone through the roof. When you have a government, yeah, attacking a body such as the Integrity Commission, because the Integrity Commission exposed him as a guy who have vast amount of illicit enrichment that him does not declare. They know see something wrong. Something fundamentally wrong. Andrew could not play this game on his own. Andrew have to have people who are affiliated to him that, you know, where you say no, them coincide with him corruption. Yeah? Them a participate with it. Them a embrace it. Them a endorse it. Them a rubber stamp it. And those people belong to the judicial system that we have in Jamaica. I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, Melting Pot. Really love that. Trust me, power and pressure. Now, I want to say big thanks to all people to pass through, but we have to close it here because we have to get ourselves ready for Titan. Well, I am definitely on Titan. Last week I missed it because I have to go to the barber, but right, we'll be definitely live on the Titan for later. So yes, we have to end it here. I want to say big thanks, right, to all the persons who come out and support and continue to support, right, Mystic Sensation. Bless up yourself. Really love you, right? So remember, Titans, right, within the next, 2 hours. Melting Pot, again, up there, my brother. Big up yourself.
Blessing, sir. Blessing as usual. And enough respect to everybody tuning in this afternoon. You know, it's a pleasure to come here and speak, you know, and speak the truth. Because I mean, I don't want my people them to just go around every day and people look on them like fool, you know. So I have to speak the truth to the people. I can't come here, come trick and can and lie my people. Because it wouldn't benefit me.
Yes.
My country is at stake right now. And at that me I defend. My people are in poverty. At that me I defend. My people have lost all the privilege given to them by Michael Manley. I want back that for my people. So there's something there. Big up on yourself. Love on people.
Glad you mentioned that. You know, because I mean we are not anti-government if the government was doing
no, sir,
good leadership and so forth and so forth. No, right? We are Manleyites, and providing that you understand what we are talking about, we are talking about a better future, right? And the government is definitely corrupted, extremely corrupted, right? And this is one of the reasons why no one can defend him, right? The Big Mama can't defend him. The Draws Davis can't defend him. No matter who them try, he just cannot be defended. You understand? And so then this is where we are at. But guess what, people? Tune in later. You understand? Titans will be greater. The blessing all. I'm out. Blessings.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right side of the argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.